Hello, Twitch chat, YouTube, welcome. Saturday Vintage Challenge. We're going back to the roots here. Back to the No Saga PO outcome. This is very similar deck to things I played a lot in 2019. It's almost a 2019 PO deck. The difference is not Esper. In Esper, we had Night's Whisper and Monastery Mentor. In Grixis, we have this new Innistrad card, Reckless Impulse, which is like a red Night's Whisper. Exile 2 cards, play them until you can play them until the end of your next turn. So not this turn, but the next turn after. Some cool things about this. The reason that this kind of effect gets played, this Reckless Impulse and Night's Whisper, is because you can cast it off of Fetch Land, off-color Moxen. So PO really wants card advantage, and it really wants to do it in a way that it can cast it using like a Mox Emerald. So like your best turn, when you're not killing your opponent on turn 1, a lot of your best turns were like Crack Fetch, Night's Whisper, off of Underground Sea, Moxen. This one being red lets you play into some of the powerful red sideboard cards, which I think are quite good at the moment. I think Pyroblast is quite good at the moment due to 8 cast and Tinker decks being pretty high on the list of things that are happening. Another cool part about this card is it gets around Narsets and Hull Breachers by not drawing cards. It instead exiles them. And then you get an alternate win condition by playing red of Underworld Breach Brain Freeze. I don't think you technically need it, but Brain Freeze on its own as just a combo kill in PO is fine. And when you turn it into a full Underworld Breach combo with Brain Freeze, Black Lotus, Underworld Breach, it just gives you another avenue to play through. So you end up with a pseudo Breach Tinker deck, but you also have a game plan of PO. I am running very few win conditions, just Citadel Will and Brain Freeze Breach. I think that's fine. I mean, also you have like Brain Freeze Lightning Bolt Breach. I personally just don't want a lot of win cons in my deck. Someone in chat already mentioned maybe you could play a Witch in this deck. I think that's okay as well, but I really didn't want to stretch my mana too hard. People are still attacking mana bases with Wastelands and Ghost Quarters and those things, though it has died down a bit with the decline in Bug and also somewhat of a decline in Golos as well. So there is a little bit less tax on the mana base than there was maybe in the past few months, but I still don't really want to be like too hard. So I am on 2 islands and a mountain. So it kind of looks like one of those Tinker Breach decks where you have a Lightning Bolts and Pyroblast and 1 Breach and 1 Freeze and Tinker. But it also looks like my typical PO builds with the one Repeal, the 2 Slow Tutors, the Flusterstorms, the Hurkyl's Recall in the main. So you kind of get best of both worlds. Yeah, I always play Hurkyl's Recall as my... So the idea with Hurkyl's Recall in PO is PO can play against Golos, cast Hurkyl's Recall, and always win on the next turn. Or somewhat always win on the next turn. So you definitely want Hurkyl's Recall to be your answer to artifacts. I think a nice thing is this deck gets a bunch of Lightning Bolts for like there's a large amount of Hate Bears running around right now for whatever reason, and you kind of just need a lot of Lightning Bolts to deal with that. And as I said before, I think Pyroblast is quite good, so I'm on like 3 Pyroblast, 2 Flusterstorms. I still think Dress Down is a great answer against a lot of things. Doomsday, Saga decks, so Hull Breacher decks. Sometimes, most of the time, Hull Breacher and Saga decks are the same one, so it's nice to have some Dress Down access. This is a pretty low number of Graveyard Hate, but you also get to do, PO and Tinker combos against Dredge, so I don't think you technically need a ton of Graveyard Hate. I still think it's pretty free to play Sphinx of the Steel Wind because it's going to give you free wins against Bug because Bug players don't like to answer it. And then I do like having a 3rd basic in the board. I think that's it. Like I said, this is very much an old school PO deck. It looks exactly like a lot of my old Night's Whisper configurations. The only real difference is we have a heavy emphasis on red for obvious reasons, which I think is fine. I think if there's a time for a heavy emphasis on red, I think now is a pretty good time for that to be the case. All right, here we go. Round 1 against the Power 9. So Tinker Mirror to start the day. We are playing some Pyroblast, which should be nice. Last couple times, P9 has been playing various Hull Breacher PO decks. Or not even PO. There's various Hull Breacher Tinker decks. So this hand doesn't actually have any action in it, but I don't believe that's a problem. Our Volcanic shouldn't be getting wastelanded, and we have 2 of our better interaction for the Tinker side, and we have a piece of interaction for the Saga side. So I think this is actually fine. Obviously, it's on us to draw action, but with the current mana base setup we have 3 Reckless Impulses and 4 POs to draw into, as well as, you know, all the various broken like Tinker and Ancestral and those kind of things. An issue with the current mana base setup is that that's really bad for me. I don't think I'm allowed to counter it, but it's really bad for me. I don't really want to counter it and then leave myself open, but now I can't really draw into PO. A thing I was saying before that happened was we aren't really set up very well to like play a PO with counter backup yet, because we don't have another blue-red mana source, but this is like really frustrating, but something that happens in some games because mental misstep exists. So it's gonna be a tough game for us, actually. I think our hand was kind of glued together on this Soul Ring, because the Soul Ring, like I said, enabled us to draw into any of our action spells that were not black and be able to cast them. However, I mean, if we hit another land drop, then we're holding open everything. You know, hit a couple more Moxen, maybe, then we're looking into POs. I think the most problematic thing will just be if we okay, I have to fetch this. I don't know what this is gonna name now. Maybe it'll name Dak Faden after we show them Volcanic Island. It's possible. I don't know if P9 has seen the list on Twitter. I don't think P9 is super online in terms of Twitter, so maybe hasn't even seen the list yet. So we'll see what happens. Yep. So we actually baited a Dak Faden activation with this Volcanic. Unfortunately, this will get reset when we have to Hurkyl's Recall all of the Saga tokens, which is not exactly, you know, great use of Hurkyl's Recall, but at least we have an answer to Saga tokens, because this hand would definitely struggle with Saga tokens if we did not have the Hurkyls. So what am I really looking for here? It's possible, like, man, I don't know what else was in my opponent's hand, but I really think it's maybe I don't know. It's hard to say that I'm supposed to like Flusterstorm this mental misstep. It just doesn't really feel like, oh, that's really annoying. That's really annoying because it means I have to wait on this Hurkyl's for a while. And my Hurkyl's can just get countered if I don't draw like an extra backup like mana for like a Flusterstorm. I mean, Saga is exactly good here, but I don't know. Like, even then, it's not great. The biggest problem is that I got mental misstep, actually. It basically bought like 3 or 4 turns. I mean, it's tough because I can't tell if my opponent's going to have a hand that's like Saga or if it's Tinker, right? Okay, so we haven't drawn any action, but now we're perfectly set up to draw action. I don't know. I don't really feel like we're dead here. I think we're okay. It's going to be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if this Saga token produces. So it'll be interesting to see what they do here. They might just not make another construct because they want to, you know, fully utilize their mana, search for maybe a blue mana off of this. Because they can't really use this Saga to make a construct. I think that would be pretty silly. But they might. They might use this Saga to make a construct and go get a Sapphire or something. That could happen. A nice thing is that we did, you know, hit mana sources, so we can kind of play around things like Flusterstorm. I do kind of wish that this Hercules was a dress down, but I feel like you should always respect shops enough to play Hercules in your main. I don't know. I think that's just like, that might just be trauma from, you know, years and years of broken shops things. Okay, so they are going to tap this, get a second construct, and get maybe a Sapphire. Or a top, maybe. I think you would need depends on what kind of lands they have in their hand. The good news is I can choose now if I want to, you know, save some life. I'm not sure. We get a little bit more options this way. I'd like to get all of the Saga tokens in one go. So yeah, they did get Sapphire. That makes sense to me. Kind of felt like their hand didn't have... I'm going to definitely just take this. And they're going to pass with no further land drops. Okay, so I'm definitely just going to end step a Hercules here because it's going to get the both constructs and then they won't be able to activate Saga on their next turn and they can't Flusterstorm it. This is like a really, really good value Hercules, kind of just negating the both Sagas. Though both Sagas will turn into Moxen, which is not nothing. So if my opponent has both Force and Fluster, that's also fine because I can Pyroblast and Fluster, and then I'm left with not much going for me, but at least they won't have anything going for them. So kind of interesting. My opponent has so many cards in hand though, because it was, you know, their lands were the ones making the artifacts. So I have a feeling my opponent will just let this. It's tough. It's tough because if their only interaction is Fluster or something like that, it's hard to let this resolve because then if I untap and PO, they have nothing. Okay, so they're going to Force, and then I'm going to Pyroblast. Force pitching Narset. So that was pretty good because now I stopped them from getting like Black Lotus Narset. And if they want to Fluster, we're going to win the war here. And they're going to be left on 2 cards plus this. So Sapphire, Pearl, Needle, and 2. I mean, we're left with nothing, but we have lots of draws. We have the mana to cast anything we draw, basically. All right, hit the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, Force, F6. All right, so they're down to 2 cards. They could obviously at the end of this have blue card Force, and we are put in a really rough spot. But I mean, I'm pretty happy with what we did and how we played. Like, they can have blue card Force here, and it's rough for us. Wow, it might look like they do. Nope, they didn't have it. All right, sweet. So their hand is Sapphire, Pearl, Needle, and 2 unknowns, and they can't get another Saga token. All we need here is action. And we've kind of needed action the whole game, but I'm pretty happy to draw into, like, Mox. So I can't complain about our draws. Because our game plan was, like, really stifled by this mental misstep, but we kind of drew the right cards to get out of it. We just need to draw action. I will represent Hardcast Force. All right, so this would probably be a top. Could be a Lotus, depending on what's in their hand. Yep, so top. And then they have Sapphire, Pearl, Needle. They're going to spin with their floating. That makes sense. Utilize this 6 looks. Yeah, I mean, if they have it, they have it, right? Like, I needed to draw. I really did just need to draw action on exactly this turn, and I didn't, so. But my deck is the most action a PO deck can really have, right? Like, I'm on 3 Reckless Impulse, 4 PO, Tinker, Ancestral. Like, I have a large percentage of my deck is the cards I wanted to draw there. I just didn't draw them. So now it's time to find out what my opponent's got for us here. So we're just on Needle, 2 unknowns. I even have like Breach into Freeze, which would have been pretty reasonable as well. So, like, sometimes you draw the cards you need, sometimes you don't. Pretty happy with how I played this game, so. I think I'm going to brain freeze them if they're trying to draw into something here. I don't know how many times I'm going to brain freeze them. The problem... So I can brain freeze myself twice. I think I'm going to brain freeze them twice and myself once. It really depends on what their configuration looks like. So I have a Breach and a Yogwill in my deck. The problem is currently if I drew Breach or Yogwill, I would have a brain freeze in my yard, so it wouldn't be that bad. I'm just gonna hit them with all three. I guess it'd be bad if I drew a Yogwill right now, which is kind of unfortunate. Oh, they're just gonna fetch away whatever they were trying to draw? Interesting. I mean, so they're gonna let this all happen and then spin again, probably. Luster, Twister, Emerald, Merchant, Mystical Dispute main, ooh, Ancestral Time Vault. Okay, now they're gonna spin, I would assume, off of Pearl. No, they didn't respin. Why would they not respin? That feels weird to me. Huh? Why wouldn't they respin? Tinker? This is why they're the Power 9, and I'm simply Justin. Don't need to respin, just draw your Tinker. That's so absurd. Like if you respin and drew Tinker, then yeah, it's bad beats, right? But oh man, I am just not as good as P9 is. So how do I win this game? I've already used my Pyroblast. So I have to draw exactly Breach and they have no counter spells, probably. I feel like it would have to be Breach and they would have to have nothing. Because then I could go Brain Freeze myself, try to combo off. If I need to draw spells, I could Pyroblast this. Lightning Bolt technically works, yeah. True. True. I don't think I'm supposed to crack in case I draw top deck Sensei's Top, which will give me an additional looks. Though I guess if they play a Pithing Needle, then I have to crack. They didn't play Needle. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so they have Hardcast Force as well. So I don't think this will work, but draw. I drew an Opal. I am just not good enough. What can I say? I'm just not good enough. If only I had someone to lead me to the water, you know? Sure. Spin away. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I like the way I played the game. I just had to have one draw where I drew an action spell, and I just didn't get there. Not much to say. That mental misstep didn't actually end up mattering at all, because I never really drew an action spell. It actually worked out in my favor that I didn't counter it, so not the worst thing. Ever do. Well, I'm still not dead. No, I am. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I am technically dead if they just sack their board, but we'll see what they do. Oh, I meant to crack in response, but that was the whole reason I was holding everything up. They named Dak Faden again, sure. All right, well, they didn't kill me, so they're gonna kill me now? They're gonna kill me in my upkeep. Interesting. It's kind of weird, right? Because couldn't I then... No, I couldn't. Okay, it doesn't matter. I have I have nothing. Yeah. My opponent cast a lot more spells than I did. Oh, that wouldn't have been good anyways. That would have just been tilting because of the whole reachers. Oh my. Yeah, I mean, it do be like that. All right, so we're definitely bringing in as many Pyroblasts as we can find. We're going to bring in some Dress Downs. We're going to take out an island. And then I don't know how many bolts I want to leave in. I don't know if I want to leave in Hercules. The problem is I don't really feel like I have very many bad cards in the matchup. Maybe things like Mystical and Vamp are worse. But in this matchup, I feel like I'm more of the control deck, but it's kind of rough to be the control deck when my opponent's playing Saga, so I'm not sure how that really works out. I'm definitely bringing in Blast and Dress Down. I'm not sure about Bolt, because Bolt for 4-hole Breacher is, like, not great. I'm going to leave a Bolt in. I think a Bolt is always good to have in this kind of setup, but I don't think I want to bring in more than one Bolt. I think the Pyroblast should be good enough. The problem is I just don't feel like I have cards that I can willingly take out is the issue. Yeah, it kind of feels like one Impulse, but it also Impulse is one of our better cards at gaining us an advantage in this matchup, so it's pretty sus. Maybe I don't need access to Hercules Recall because I'm bringing in Dress Down. It kind of does the same thing, except draws card. I'm really happy with this deck. I went 10-0 with it yesterday in a league against Dredge, Doomsday, Mono Blue, and Tinker. No, and Jeskai. So pretty happy. I think this deck is quite good. I mean, it's just a normal PO deck. It's a very classic style PO deck, which is something I'm extremely comfortable with playing. So that does help a lot. I really don't have to learn any new play patterns. All of these things are something that I've played thousands of times, so that does help a lot. But yeah, I mean, P9 gets the best of me quite a lot, so it do be like that. I don't really find the slow tutors to be super necessary here. This hand's great. Not great, actually. It's fine. I don't like to have these in my opener. I don't even like to have DT in my opener very much. I would rather this have been Moxins or Forces, but maybe we'll draw into them, so. I do think I am priced into Ancestral on their upkeep, though. I know I have a Pyroblast to protect my Ancestral, but I don't really feel like I'm... the problem is if I do not... If I don't draw my land or a Mox or something to then go... Or if I don't draw a land, really, to go Ancestral with Pyroblast backup, and they don't hold up Fluster, it's like... There are so many ways it goes really poorly. Maybe I'm supposed to Ancestral on my turn, actually. What's the likelihood they play Negation? There's like a lot of upsides to Ancestraling on my turn, but there's like some small amount of downsides as well. I think the upsides of Ancestraling on my turn are higher than the downsides of them possibly having a negation or... I feel like just getting a top and play off a Mox is so good. I could just draw no Mox and have to pitch to discard. All right, I'll do it on their upkeep. Just has the force. Okay, I mean, it's not good for me. I fetched Underground Sea because I think if anything happens for next turn mana-wise, I want to play Demonic. There's like a lot of upside to me finding like... If I can figure out a way to get like Black Lotus and Yogwill with Pyro backup or something like that, it seems like quite a good thing. I don't think I want to be holding up Pyroblast if I don't hit a land drop anyways. I think I'd rather play top. So I don't think fetching Volcanic makes any sense. I mean, it makes some sense, but I don't think it makes a lot of sense. It's pretty rough for my opponent to have the force. I kind of needed those cards. But like I said, if I had another land in my hand, I don't think I would have Ancestraled, because then I can go, I don't know, like maybe play top on turn 1 and then untap and go for Ancestral with Pyroblast backup if they're not representing Flusterstorm. But I didn't have it, so I think I was kind of forced into the line we took. Yo. Thanks, Asphalt. Glad to have you. All right, Underground Sea. So not a Saga. Has a Moxen. Very jealous. And has a Demonic. All right, so if they're going for Ancestral, we're in a good spot. If they go for Tinker, we are not in a good spot. Could really use mana. Okay. So now I'm concerned about I don't think I'm allowed to Demonic anymore. And the reason I don't think I can Demonic anymore is because if my opponent tutored for Tinker, I need a Pyroblast. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to play a top out and hold open Pyroblast Misstep. Yeah, and hopefully they don't have like Ancestral Fluster or something like that. That would be bad. I guess I do technically beat Ancestral Fluster at the moment. So we'll have to see. Maybe I was supposed to fetch on my turn, so I can't, because I can't fetch end of turn now, which is unfortunate. It's like hard to use these fetches because I want to be able to use them with my top, but I think I probably should have fetched on my turn. That was probably a small mistake, sequencing mistake. Because I just can't fetch there, I don't believe. Like, especially against like maybe even an opposition agent. I can't really beat an opposition agent, so maybe it doesn't matter, but okay. So here is that. So let's just fetch now. And I'm just gonna misstep this. They have a Fluster. I have a Blast. All right, that worked out really well. And now I think I'm just gonna spin. I probably don't want to spin in case I draw any Mox into DT. Never mind. I don't really think I needed to fetch right away then. I drew a Moxen. I sure drew a Moxen. I hate this game. It's been a while since I played PO. I forgot I'm not allowed to call for Moxen. I have to call specifically for the correct Moxen. All right, so I definitely want to draw Soul Ring into Blast. All right, well, now if my opponent's last card is Tinker, I guess I lose. I mean, if this game goes long, I think I'm winning. But if it goes short, I'm definitely losing. Because I have DT Yogwill. Like, I'm pretty set up for this game. This is kind of, yeah. Please don't misstep me. So, what is my best line? Oh, what is my best line? I have so many lines. Ancestral's in my yard. I think we DT as Fluster Bait. I think we just DT as Fluster Bait. We do lose our Pyro if we DT is the problem. DTing for our own Fluster doesn't really feel strong because my opponent's just going to be holding open 4 mana next turn. I don't really like DT for Fluster. I don't like DT for PO much. I'd like to be able to protect my Yogwill next turn. That has, like, my Yogwill hits Ancestral, like there is a Pyro under this. I wonder if the answer is, like, what about DT for Walk? I wonder if that's crazy. The upside of DT Walk is if they have nothing right now, I win probably. I kind of like it. And if they counter it, then they have pretty low chance of countering Will, and I'll have a Walk in my yard. This is a very aggressive play. I think this is probably too aggressive, but I tend to play pretty aggressive. I really like it. Now I can't even get my Will flustered. I drew a Pyroblast anyways? That's pretty funny. I feel like that might be the case, Slasher, yeah. That was kind of how I was feeling. If I was, like, pretty okay with my DT getting flustered at all, that's why I cast it. All right, so I think I want to just fetch first and then cast Ancestral. Is that true? No, I think I just want to cast Ancestral. So if my Ancestral gets flustered, I don't think they can have a fluster. I guess my Ancestral could get blasted, but I think they're blue-black. So I think we just go Ancestral, target me. I drew my Citadel. Can I play Citadel next turn? So if I fetch an Underground Sea, I can. Okay, so I can just go crack Underground Sea, Time Walk, play Citadel next turn, right? I think so. Okay, so untap. Now I need to win on this turn, which does seem doable. That's a good draw. I mean, it's not really a draw that matters, I don't think, but... Yeah, I don't think they have anything, but mine as well. I don't want to actually tap this. Probably want to just tap this. Citadel. All right, now we should just win. All right. I mean, I think I played this game pretty well. I'm currently short on this PO, so let's just draw through. Brain freeze. What is this for? It's for like a lot. Yeah, sure. See if they'll concede to this. Guess not. All right, there we go. All right, we're way ahead now. All right, sweet. I think I'd like to see what's in their hand if they let me. Citadel land. Okay, sure. Where do I want to go now? Those are all pretty bad. Let's just crack away this. Oh, I don't have anything to get. I cracked into a force. I just looking for like, yeah, that should do it. I think my opponent just mostly wants to see what else is in my deck. All right, so I'll just brain freeze them now. Just a casual 34 copies of brain freeze. I actually don't have an Ancestral to cast, so... Did I accidentally reveal my hand because of the way he conceded? That's kind of unfortunate. I hope not. Okay, cool. So that game went really well. Do we want to make any other changes? I don't really think so. I kind of like this setup. Now they know what's going on. They know that we're a Breach deck. They know that we're a PO deck. They know that we're a Pyroblast deck. They don't know about Dress Down, which is good, but they know basically everything else. We haven't cast it. It would have been very nice to cast in my last game. not this last game, the first game. I kind of hate Needle, to be honest. I think I would rather just have a Bolt as access to a Bolt for Hull Breacher. I don't really like Needle on Saga. I would rather just play Dress Downs, to be honest. Well, I mean, if you don't have a Brain Freeze combo, I think Yogg-Will is a much superior card than Breach. In terms of vintage anyways. But when you consider Brain Freeze combo, I don't know. I still think Will is better. Like, I think Will is just just such a good card, and it does different things than Breach. I was telling this to Kane earlier. I don't think Will and Breach do exactly the same thing. They do similar things, but like a lot of my Wills are just value. They're like, I'll cast Ancestral and Time Walk and go to my next turn, you know? And whereas, I mean, maybe that's true if you play like 3 Underworld Breaches, maybe some of your breaches are value breaches. But like this breach is usually killing my opponent, whereas this Will is sometimes like, you know, anti-counterspell tech. And I think that I like playing with both in the deck, because Kane asked if I was supposed to play a Will and not just like more breaches or like no Will and just an A breach. But I think they do different things and are so good individually that I don't know. That's how I feel anyways. I really think Will is very good in PO, and one of the biggest reasons is it makes your Citadel a legitimate win con by casting 2 Tinker, by activating twice after you PO. So like this deck functions off of like a Brain Freeze as a combo kill, Underworld Breach as a combo kill, and then Yogg-Will Citadel as a combo kill, and it's pretty light on kills. I understand that. Maybe we should play a Sedgemoor Witch so we can attack, but yeah. Yeah, you don't have to play the Snapcaster anymore because you have a Breach. I think that's true. For sure. How would I beat a Game 1 Leyline of the Void? I don't know if I have 20 permanents, but maybe 20 permanents. I do have a Repeal in my deck, so I technically can beat that. I can just Brain Freeze you for 30. That works too. Like the cool thing about PO combo is you just turn Brain Freeze into a Tendrils, right? I think there's plenty of ways. I don't think it's actually a big deal. Like, I had an opponent bring in Leyline versus me, and I was pretty happy. I just Brain Freeze killed them, so. Like, I actually, like, I've definitely played PO decks where you use Brain Freeze as your main kill. It's annoying, but it's fine. You know, it's like, it's not the worst. It's better than Tendrils, you know? All right, I'm going to mulligan this hand. I'm going to keep this hand, and I'm going to obviously just run some spells at him. Yeah, I had an opponent bring in Leyline versus me, and I was pretty happy to see it, so. For whatever that's worth. All right, my opponent knows I have no counter spells, so if they have a Tinker, they get to Tinker me. They also know that I have turn 1 PO for 2, so if they want to counterspell me, they can hold up counterspells. They have all the agency in the world because they cheated and looked at my hand for free. Recurring themes. All I can really hope for is like, I'd like a Force off the top. I would also accept like a Moxen off the top and just go for it. All right, my opponent just played out their mana sources, 4 cards in hand. No blue up. All right, I'm just gonna jam. Yeah, I'm just gonna see if they have a Force. If they don't have a Force, we probably win. They have a Force on my Mana Crypt. That'd be interesting. I wonder if they would do that. I feel like that would be egregious. Not egregious. I mean, they do know I have 2 POs, so it's not the end of the world. I could definitely go for Brainstorm, but there's just no real reason for me to Brainstorm. Like, I have the PO. I should just PO. I guess the reason I could Brainstorm is if I found Force. So maybe I should have held this Pearl. No, I need this Pearl to play. The problem is if I Brainstorm and draw Force, what do? I have to play this and this still. So I have to put back... I can't ever have blue card Force, right? Because I need to keep PO and land, and then I would lose Brainstorm, and I would draw... Okay, I could have blue card Force, because I did 4 cards, 2 cards back. They could also have Mental Misstep, but we have a land backing that up. So I guess it is correct to just brainstorm. Interesting. It's really good if I hit force. Okay, so now I just put these 2 cards back and I cast PO for... Okay, sure, yeah, it's pretty good. I do lose a top, which I would like, but getting a PO through here is probably worth. Kind of sweet. I think this is supposed to be volcanic. I do lose my other PO. I don't. Okay, sweet. I mean, now I feel really good about this game. They just kept a hand with no force. All right, game's over. Sweet. Man, playing PO, I miss this shit. I absolutely miss this shit. Mystical Dispute, Mystical Dispute, Hull Breacher Narset. Nice Urza Saga is all I have to say to that. Absolutely brilliant Urza Saga. Great card. God, what a brilliant card. It's really nice to just be unable to cast any of your spells. Should I play a Narset or should I play a Reckless Impulse? So the cool part about Reckless Impulse here is that I get to keep a Tolarian for next turn, whereas Narset will bottom my Tolarian. And my opponent's not drawing cards next turn anyways, so I'm going to cast a Reckless Impulse, I think. Oh, I thought it was kind of the card I was going to Demonic for, but I guess I can Demonic for Yogwill, and that's probably... I can't cast Yogwill, though. I can cast Breach, and then Brain Freeze. Yeah. All right, just a turn 1. Let's go! This deck is sick. The trick is, it's actually just PO. It was all 2019 PO the whole time. Reckless Impulse, who gives a shit? Saga is great. Saga wins me matches on both sides of the table. You love to see it. All right, welcome back. Round 2, Vintage Challenge. We're up against probably Doomsday. I think that's Six's best deck. And I've been playing it a lot, so... obviously, this hand has no mana. We'll try again. Thanks, Code. This hand's fine. This hand's great, actually. What am I saying? This hand is sweet. I've got a Force against Doomsday, and I have a turn 1 Impulse, which is exactly what we want Impulse to do. Oh god, do I get to play turn 1? That's the question. Do I even get to play my turn 1? Doomsday? Doomsday? Oh, not Doomsday. This is categorically not Doomsday. That's a turn 1 deck fading off of Lotus, which I typically tell people not to cast. However, it's kind of annoying against me. I think I'm going to force it. They have Fluster, they have Fluster. I really don't want my Mox Pearl stolen. All right, they have Fluster. Fair. All right, yeah, turn 1 Dak. I'm still gonna like recklessly play right into Dak, so. All right, so not Doomsday. Our hand is still good against what's going on here. I might have been supposed to not force this Dak, but I just felt they are on Wasteland. Interesting. I just felt that I didn't really want my Pearl stolen, but I don't know. I think it's just what it is. What it is. I think I'm supposed to force it just because I don't want my Pearl stolen. Narset Ponder. So I will lose out on one of these cards unless I can produce an extra blue mana next turn. But So that is kind of a downside. We've hit an impulse downside. Hitting 2 action spells on turn 1 and might not be super strong for us. They did steal my pearl. Oh, wow. Okay, so we're not going to get to that because they had second wasteland. All right, fair. And a monkey. All right, my opponent's hand is lit, by the way. My opponent's hand is very good. Oh, man. Well, I can always like repeal this later or something. Just gonna search up for an island and ponder. This will help us against Ragavan too if we keep it. Maybe I'm supposed to play. Okay. So how do I just have to take the lost repeal, draw into, so I draw repeal, they hit Tarn, and then I draw into Time Walk, I guess. Yeah, I can repeal this and then use my Opal to Time Walk. Probably reasonable. Did lose out on my Narset, which is a sad day. So Reckless Impulse, worse than Night's Whisper right there. Mostly because of the amount of mana denial that just happened. It was a pretty extreme amount of mana. They got rid of a third wasteland. All right, Ragavan, you get to make a treasure. And then what? What do you have? Another Volk, 2 cards in hand. Merchant for Ancestral. Yeah, I mean, my opponent has quite a good hand here. All right, so here's our play, chat. We hope they don't draw any force. And what we do is repeal Pearl, Time Walk, and then Pio. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this has got to be in the top percentages of all whatever blue-red tempo hands, right? Not too worried about it. Like, they have turn 1 Dak with Fluster back up into, you know, Wasteland, Ancestral, Ragavan, whatever. It's fine. All right, we just got to hit a PO here. Or a Citadel actually is a little dicey, but a Citadel doesn't get, well, it gets forced. I get forced. Everything gets forced. I just have to hit an action spell and hope it resolves. Hit a Flusterstorm. All right, well, that's unfortunate. So I'm going to probably get my Jet stolen, I would assume. But the nice thing, they're going to steal my Opal. Interesting. The nice thing is I do have a Flusterstorm now. So, like, if I draw an action spell, I can maybe protect it, you know? Ragavan hit PO, which is the spell that I wanted. Yes, thank you. Wonder if they PO their whole board away. That'd be cool. I would get my Opal back. All right, well, I really wanted that PO. Of course. Man, this would have been such a good turn if I had just gone PO. Unfortunate. What is this? End of turn Hold Breacher? No, end of turn Dig. And I can't even fucking pay. Maybe I was supposed to play Sapphire so that I could have countered a Dig through time. I don't know. Whatever. We're just so far behind. I wonder how this game would have gone if I hadn't forced Dak. I would have forced... I don't think it would have been much better. Yeah, I mean... I got strip mined. Stop! Stop! Oh, I have a family. You can't do this to me. Imagine if they had PO'd. Crazy. Oh, they are playing the blue-red Lelia deck. Interesting. It's probably not a great matchup if I had to guess. I didn't want that fetch land, so I gotta thank Ragavan this time. Oh no, that's their fetch land. No, it's my fetch land. Wait, what happened? Did they hit another PO? No. I don't know what's happening. All right, cool, I died. All right. Yeah, that was unfortunate, but definitely something that can happen. All right. So, do I want a mountain? Probably. I probably want a Sphinx. I probably want lightning bolts and pyroblasts, and I don't think I want dress downs. That doesn't seem necessary. Get rid of Hercule's recall. I can get rid of slow tutors. I can get rid of like an opal and a PO. And I can get rid of maybe just 2 opals. 2 opals, 1 PO, slow tutors, and recall. I like that. That seems fair. No, my opponent is a wasteland deck. I want basic islands. I want to be able to fetch island mountain. This looks good. I don't really know how I want to sequence this though. I think I just time walk, try to hit a mana source so I can go demonic ancestral. Maybe I start by repealing my sapphire. I don't really want to lose my blue for force. Guess it could technically be that way. I think I'm just supposed to time walk and get more card. More card. I also can get wastelanded here, which would be annoying. So I definitely have to cast. Okay, that's pretty good, right? I think we're just going to Ancestral on their upkeep. So I'm pretty sure Nathan plays a bunch of negations, if I remember correctly. It might also play a misdirection. I got to go look at this list. Hold on. I got to go look at Nathan's list real quick. Is it on Twitter? Okay, it is on Twitter. No negations. No, 2 negations. 2 negations. Yeah, I don't want to play into negation. They probably bring in like some shattering sprees, but besides that, it's just 6 forces. Okay. In that case, I think it just makes sense to get Ancestral and then go to their turn. Obviously, I lose out on a land drop this turn, but I think playing around 2 negations is definitely correct. They have a force. I don't want to lose my brain freeze, so I think I'm going to pitch this repeal. It's a little sucks a little bit, but I don't think I want to lose my brain freeze. I don't think I want to lose my brain freeze. Maybe I don't need my brain freeze. I might not need my brain freeze. Have to kill them with double Citadel. But that's probably fine. All right, Ancestral. Nice. That's not a bad hand. Depends on what they have. This is going to be a Ragavan. We do Ratch Ragavan with Repeal pretty well. All right, they have 3 cards in hand. If we can repeal Ragavan, play a Narset, I'll do everything on this turn. It'll be really nice. Obviously, repealing Ragavan's not great. They can always like dash it, but I don't think it's terrible. Maybe I can wait to repeal Ragavan depending on what I see. Oh, I did have Sphinx too. Yeah, that's true. I don't know how much damage I want to take from this probe. Can I afford to pay some life? So this will be 1 blue, 2 blue, 4 blue. I think I can pay some mana. Leia, land. Okay, wow. Yeah, so I'm just going to repeal in their attack step and go Narset this turn and set up a PO kill on the next turn, I think. That seems like the best way to go about this. Oh, wait, I can't do that because of my mana situation. So I have to go... I can't even Merchant Scroll and do that. Interesting. I did need this land. Shit. I was only thinking about blue sources. I wasn't thinking about colorless sources. Maybe we just Narset and make them dash. That doesn't actually sound terrible to me. I can't do both in the timing window I want, is my problem. So I'm gonna... I can't scroll and repeal in the timing... Oh, I can scroll and repeal in the timing window. What do I want? Okay, maybe I'll just do that and set up a PO. This does play into Pyroblast really badly. But maybe that's fine. No, I'm going to play Narset this turn. Okay, well now I can do everything I want. Or should I just take a force? Can't PO this turn. I've used too much mana. I think I just want the third mana, the third card, the fourth card to pick up with my PO on my next turn here. Yeah, it turns out I should have lifed Probe, but I don't know. When you play with Mana Crypt as much as I do, my Mana Crypt does not like me. It felt like preserving my life total against what was currently happening seemed reasonable to me. I didn't think I would need an extra colorless mana, but I didn't really need an extra colorless mana because it all worked out in the end. I still am repealing in attackers here. I still have enough cards to PO, so like everything worked. See what they drew. If they drew... Interesting. Can I play that? I can play that if I draw a Opal. Just gonna play a Ragavan, play a Volcanic. They could have drawn a counterspell here. It's kind of hard to tell. So I've lost both my flips. I'm now at 13. Kind of just might want to look for an Opal and just play a Sphinx with Pyroblast back up. If not, we can just scroll for a PO, or we can just draw a PO. That works too, doesn't it? Should be game. I think we just play... God, I can play anything I want, can't I? Does it really matter what I do? I don't think it really matters what I do. I have Yogwell, so this game is very over. I wouldn't let you raid me. I don't believe I changed any settings, so maybe just something is wrong. Not sure. I appreciate it though. So I don't really want a Yogwell until I mean, I guess I can just get Sphinx and massive card advantage. Thanks. I could just play a Sphinx right now, right? Can't really lose at that point. Yeah, let's just play a Sphinx, I guess. I think this is a fine approach. Just hold open Force, Pyroblast, and play a Sphinx. Nathan's list doesn't have a borrower in it. It doesn't have answers to Sphinx. Yeah, sure, you can see my hand. That should be a concession, I would think. Don't really see the upside. I can force there because I'm just going to draw a bunch of cards next turn anyways. Don't think it really matters. Do I have a Time Walk in my yard? I do. So if I find Lightning Bolt, or I mean, that also is going to kill them very easily too. All right, anything I do is going to get me there. It's just how much time does it take? Lightning Bolt will get me there. So I have Demonic for Lightning Bolt, right? So that's good enough. Let's just do that. I mean, I can also PO, like whatever, just Time Walk, DT, Bolt you. Just Merchant Scroll for a Force real quick. Go to my next turn. Who cares? And then hit him with a Sphinx. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, my deck's sweet. What can I say? I like this setup. It's like kind of feels like you're playing against like a Jeskai. You're a little bit more controlling than normal, playing like a combo controlling deck. You're not like super into PO. You're more like deal with the threats, get incremental card advantage, pick good spots to cast your instant draw spell, maybe put a Sphinx in play. Yeah. I forgot we had Sphinx in our deck, so we really definitely didn't need the Brain Freeze. So I'm pretty happy with having this the set of cards I have. This hand looks fine too. It's a little slow, but this matchup is a little slow. So I even have an answer for a Ragavan, which I'm happy about. A Mox draw off the top is king for sure. Letting us play turn 1 Demonic, turn 2 Tinker will be great if possible. Yeah, I would really just like to see a Mox off the top. No, not a Mox. God, why did I say that? A non-Opal Moxen. Jeez, Justin, you're just... like you can hit like double land or double spell, and there are like some amounts of like problematic combinations that in terms of exiling, like it happened in our first game where they like cut us off on mana so we couldn't play double spell. But for the most part, it hasn't really been an issue. Like you don't really want to exile your like Sphinx or your Citadel, but I mean you don't really want it in your hand either. So Brain Freeze is a terrible draw though. I can tell you that I did not want to draw Brain Freeze. Any Moxers? That's a Moxer. It's a good Moxer too. I kind of want to just draw all of these in this exact order. I don't like DT for Lotus. I want to DT for Counter Magic to protect my Tinker. Cards, like, you don't really want to play too much card disadvantage against a deck like this. I don't want to play out my Jet because I don't want my Jet to get dacked, but holding any of these other cards in my hand doesn't really do anything for me. I think I just want to draw Jet, then draw Bolt, and then draw Mountain, and I can draw Bolt if I want it. I think that's fine. Because I do want another land drop. My opponent can't play Lavinia, so I can just hold this Mox in my hand. So if my opponent dashes a Ragavan here, it's a very easy misstep. But then I have to consider, oh, they're going to time walk into a Lelia. Didn't really like that. I really don't want to see that. I kind of need some time here to set up like Tinker with Force backup, right? I'm scared. Okay. No, we just had like a good 4-0 prelim or a 3-0 prelim. And people have been putting some work in the deck, so. Okay, so now I lose my Lightning Bolt, but I don't think I need a Lightning Bolt if they're not playing anything. I do feel like my Demonic is going to get flustered. I can't really play around Fluster in any meaningful way in this game. Not my prelim. My prelim went terribly. My Lelia deck was horrible. Is there? Yeah, I think I'm just gonna Demonic, see if it resolves. If it resolves, I'm gonna grab a Force. The problem is if I draw a Force, I still can't beat Fluster. I don't think holding is gonna get me very far here though either. Maybe we should just search for Underworld Breach. My own Fluster doesn't do very much here. Kind of want to have things that don't die to Pyro. The nice part is if they don't have a DAC, they only have 2 DACs. If they don't have a DAC, then we actually, just got rid of a Flusterstorm for our Tinker, which is nice. And we can beat a Pyro. Okay, they just have a DAC. No, they have a Lelia. Okay, so if they don't have Fluster, we're actually great here. Probe. That's kind of fucking annoying, isn't it? So I think I should keep my Bolt for this thing. Are they a Dazed deck? They're not a Dazed deck. I can't misstep this. Oh, I already shuffled my Bolt? No, I didn't. What are you talking about? My Demonic was countered. I can't counter this because I need to hold up for Pyro. Okay, so my opponent can have negation, negation, force, 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 pyro, 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 fluster, fluster. So we can't beat a force or a fluster, but we can beat a fluster on our lightning bolt if we just bolt this now. So, man, we're so dead if they have anything though. We just don't have other Moxen to follow up with. Yeah, I mean, I think we just have to start here with Bolt on this. That was really quick. I mean, I win the game if Tinker resolves, but I probably lose the game if it gets countered. It could just be Pyroblast. It's much more likely it's not much more. It's more likely it's Pyroblast. I mean, if we draw into a Moxen next turn and go for an end step PO, it's pretty decent. We're in a decent spot. But if we tinker, we don't have anything for PO. But if we, I'm fucking going for it. They don't play Daze. We are going to lose our black source. I think that's fine. We only have one black spell left in our deck. It was Fluster! No! We could have beat Fluster if we had just played Tinker first. Why didn't I just do that? Why didn't I just play Tinker first? I could have beat it with Misstep, pay a mana. Now I have Misstep for their Ragavan, though, so they have a second Lelea, right? Oh, they have a dig after this? All right, we just lose. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I was supposed to play her out. Maybe I was supposed to play Tinker first here. Yeah, I feel like I sequenced that terribly. Why did I do it that way? I was like, oh, I can beat Fluster on my Bolt. But why would I want to beat Fluster on my Bolt when I can beat Fluster on my Tinker? I guess the downside is if I like beat Fluster on my Tinker, I can't kill the Lelea, and that feels pretty bad as well, but it doesn't feel bad if I have a Sphinx in play. Strip mine? Why am I fetching fucking basics if they're just gonna strip mine me? I hate this game. All right. I don't even have a repeal target. Yeah. I think I played this game pretty badly. I should have just tinkered there. There was no reason not to tinker there. Oh, they have a Lelea too. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is like the problem with playing PO against an all counter spell deck is your lines really suck. I mean, they didn't have a force. I don't know. I think it's just me not play. I think me not playing Tinker there was pretty egregious. It's so frustrating that I fetched my basic and got strip mine because this is so good right now. This is exactly what I wanted here. You're gonna sack your thing? Fuck me. It's really just like the strip mine is just the icing on the cake of what is a horrible game for us. All right, well now I'm dead. Man. Yeah, I mean, I had one opportunity to win this game. I should have just tinkered for a Sphinx and then won the game. I think I threw this game away. I don't know why I thought I couldn't beat a Tinker when I had 4 lands and a misstep. Just probably out of practice or something. I don't know. I think the biggest problem was I wasn't thinking in terms of like Sphinx. Like I was thinking, oh, I don't want to play my... No, that's not true. Because I played my land first anyways. I don't know. I don't know why. Just blanked there on a pretty winnable game, I think. Yeah. As long as they didn't have force and they only had Fluster, I'm pretty sure I just threw it. Epic Storm asks, strong opinions on PO without Saga. I personally feel that Saga does not play with the game plan that it doesn't really synergize with the game plan I like to do when I play Pio. I think it tends to lead to some different play patterns that are better against some things and worse against others. And once I put Saga in my deck, I feel like the deck is a little bloated and doesn't have the same capacity to like do the Pio thing. And so I like to, if I was to play Sagas, and I think that's totally a reasonable choice, I'd rather play them in like the Tinker Shells, like the Vault Key, more of a combo controlling deck. And I don't like Saga in Pio very much. And I think the way you do mitigate the whole Saga in the metagame is with Dress Down. I have a couple of videos out with Dress Down Pio on my YouTube. Because that was something I don't think if I were to play Pio at Eternal Weekend, I don't think I would play Saga. I don't know if I would play Dress Down in the main or not. I'll just show you this quickly, actually, while we're waiting for Kenza to show up. So this is what we're testing today. And the big reason I don't have Dress Down in the main of this deck is because I'm trying out Reckless Impulse. But if I was to play like a very island-heavy version of Pio, I have this version, which is 3 Dress Downs in the main as a way to combat hate permanents and Saga tokens. I'm not sure if there's supposed to be 1 or 0 Sagas in this deck. I know Pete Ward has been telling me that like he tutors for the 1 Saga enough that it was kind of worth it, but I could see just playing no Sagas. But this is like a very like island heavy, if you're afraid of getting wastelanded, afraid of bug things, afraid of mono white things, like you could play something like this, which is I think is pretty interesting. Like I do have versions of Pio with Saga in them, and I just think they're clunky and bad. Because like in the Tinker version, you can afford for your Urza Sagas to be all spells, so they're like your 16th, your 15th through 18th lands. Where in the Pio version, you can't really afford these all to be spells. Like if I took this out, I'm on 11 lands, and Pio kind of needs like 12 lands to function, 12 blue lands to function. So like you can't really count this as a land, and the Pio deck kind of like really flip-flops over the line of spell versus land, whereas the Tinker decks where you're on 16, 18 lands, I mean, I think 16 was too short last time I played it. I think like LSV played 18. If you play 18 lands, you're on like a 14 blue lands and 4 Sagas as spells, and I think that's reasonable, but then I think your Pio plan is just kind of not very good, and that in that case you get to like cut Pios and you play more tech cards and you play stuff like that. So I don't think any of the strategies are inherently, well, I mean, Saga inherently has been performing better, but that's just because people aren't really playing Pio without Saga. Whereas I think that Pio without Saga still has a place, and especially in like certain metagames, it might be better or worse. I think it's more of a tuning thing than a a better or worse thing. I think that your matchups when you play like a Dress Down or a no Saga Pio are different than when you play a Saga Pio. Have I tried Esper Sentinel in any of my vintage decks? Yeah. I don't like it. I think Esper Sentinel is just like, I don't feel like the games last long enough where you get the advantage that you probably should. I know that Ian's been trying an Esper Sentinel list that he didn't hate Esper Sentinel in, so. All right. Now our opponent has shown up. We're going to play round 3 of this vintage challenge. Kenza usually plays like a 5-color monstrosity, like 3 Deathrite Shamans, weird stuff. In which case, I think this hand is not great, but fine. No die rolls will be won. It's okay. I'm like, I don't think I can complain about die rolls not being won when I throw away games like round 2, so. All right, well, now I can F6 because my opponent cheated and looked at my hand. It's really too bad because I think besides like that one Tinker sequence from last game where I should have just cast Tinker first, I think I played the rest of this tournament fairly well. Been pretty happy. Ancestral on my upkeep. Seems good. We just need to deploy our Ooh. Don't mind if I do. That's a sick draw. I don't need to tap this. That's a sweet draw. I can't be anything but happy about drawing exactly Mox Ruby there. So I kind of want to see like force. Ooh, I don't even hate that. Can you guys see this? Is this too small? How big do you want this? Like this? That looks fine. Now I have lots of options. Wait, why is it all of a sudden like this? Because I can't cast them anymore? Okay. All right, Magic Online, I see you. All right, I do get to... Well, I don't get to F6 because they don't know my other card. Wait, did they know my Reckless Impulse? Okay, Time Walk. Maybe they're on Doomsday and I'm just going to die, but the Mental Misstep should help there. It does look like Doomsday. I haven't never seen Kenza play Doomsday. I guess it could still be Blue-Black Tinker. Certainly feels like Doomsday. This Mental Misstep hit is pretty nice if it is Doomsday, though. Well, maybe we're just going to get Hull Breachered. Okay, so I mean, we're in a good spot. We have the ability to go land, have Tinker with Flusterstorm. The problem is they are at 3 mana, so I don't know how good Flusterstorm is here. I don't have like a blue Moxen, so I can't do anything else. I could just play it slow, but I think we definitely want to use our Tinker while we have it. Obviously, we're going to lose out on this Mental Misstep. If we like don't use the Mental Misstep this turn, they untap and they cast Dark Ritual. It's a pretty big knock against Reckless Impulse in terms of like Reckless Impulse versus Night's Whisper. I really wish I could like cycle this Repeal to like up my Fluster, but I guess that ups their Fluster too, so it doesn't really help me in the long run. I think we just want to go land Tinker off of the Soul Ring. They do know about my Fluster, so there's a problem with that too. But I guess if they're on Doomsday, I have to hold up Flusterstorm this turn anyways. I guess in this case, I might have had to fetch. It's kind of impossible to fetch into like open Opposition Agent. It's a little awkward. Well, I mean, I really like Night's Whisper and PO, and Reckless Impulse is one that doesn't cost life, gets around Hull Breacher. Like I said this in the beginning of the stream, but the best play, like the best, if you can't kill your opponent on turn 1 with PO, the next best thing to do is usually cast like a turn 1 draw 2. And it's pretty easy to cast off of like fetch land, plot that resolved. I was gonna say it's pretty easy to cast off of like fetch land off color Moxen. All right, well, I'm gonna get a Bola Citadel. And I'm gonna hit a top. Yeah, I'm a powerful wizard. What can I say? Maybe they're on bug and they have a vigor. I don't really know. I mean, if they have a Hull Breacher, it does get me here, doesn't it? Why does it feels like Hull Breacher, right? Is there any way I can really just like actually play around a Hull Breacher here though? I guess we can spin in response. This feels like it has to be Hull Breacher, yeah. So I think I want to start by... Well, I get 6 looks, so... Or 5 looks. PO? That's kind of interesting, right? I can respond by POing my... The problem is if I respond by POing, I'm just drawing 2 lands, right? That's not very good. I mean, I do get 1 fresh card. And then I get more looks if I just... Yeah. I guess that gives me the exact same looks. Yeah, I guess I could cast PO and fetch. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that. I also get another instant speed look at like a Force or a Pyro. I think I would rather... I have a Ruby. Okay. So I could actually spin again, right? Look too deeper, see which cards I'm drawing. Could also just repeal. I can't really repeal because I'm already going to draw these. Well, I can't spin after the PO resolves because there won't be a top in play. So I think it's still worth spinning here. I really want to see a force in my bottom two or my next two cards here. Neither. So I mean, these cards are all good. I am gonna only have. Will I be able to repeal this Hull Breacher next turn? Would it be mana short? So I guess I need. Yeah, I guess it's just draw these two and time walk. Kind of an interesting turn. So I think they're on blue-black blue-black Tinker or PO or something. A little unlucky not to find a force, but it is what it is. I guess I could get. I mean, they don't have fluster. They would have flustered Tinker, right? I guess they. Did I have? How much mana did I have? Yeah, time walk. That's a good draw. That's such a good draw. Yeah, it's a really good draw. Oh, they have fluster. Huh. Okay. Did I miscount? Could they have? I might have miscounted. I don't know. I mean, I'm still looking pretty good here. I might have some pretty low life totals at the end of all this, though. Could they not have flustered my shit? I'm so confused. That's a really good draw. So I'm 1 mana away from repeal now. Should I scroll for a force? I can just hold open fluster. I can just cast impulse. It's kind of interesting. I haven't actually had to play through this before, and I'm actually not sure what my best lines are. It's kind of cool. The upside of having a force is, I don't know, I feel like a fluster storm should cover it. If I have a fluster, I can hold it up, and I can just cast impulse this turn. What could I possibly lose to if I just hold open fluster? I don't think so. I'm just going to cast impulse. I hit an opal. DAC? They're not on DAC. I think they're on P9.deck. Blue black saga. I don't think they're on deck. Interesting game. I have no idea. I have no idea how Tinker resolved. I don't remember how much mana I had. Maybe they didn't understand that if I fluster their fluster, they can pay. I feel like they must have made a mistake because they knew I had fluster. Losing my top is annoying. Oh, I did have Tinker and a land floating in a misstep. Sure, yeah, maybe that was what it was. That's true. This needle's pretty annoying. I don't think I'm allowed to spin here because I think I still need to hold up and fluster. Maybe I don't need to hold up and fluster. I'm just like worried about like getting twisted or something. So this is gonna name my top, which is definitely annoying. But I have a lot of action, so I don't think it should matter very much. Maybe I was supposed to spin in response to this. It's possible. I guess if they name top, they stop their own top, don't they? But what else are they gonna name here? I forgot they just played a top. It's really dumb. It's really not the smartest to play a top and then name top. They named Dak Faden. Okay. And naming Citadel would be pretty annoying. All right, I don't think there's anything I'm at risk here of for spinning. Oh, that's pretty good, isn't it? I could take it down to 6. I'm just gonna put a blast on top, and then on my upkeep I'll blast. Probably don't need to do that, right? I could probably put like a Yogwill on top and win that way. Maybe this is like not necessary. What about Breach? Breach on top, and then Vamp puts me to 6. Vamp puts me to 4. I could theoretically whiff. No, I can't whiff. I guess they could have Fluster, maybe. I think this is an Underworld Breach kill. I put Breach on top. I play Breach. I go scroll for freeze, and then I freeze 1, 2, 3 for free, and then I vamp for. At any point, I can vamp for a Lotus. So I think I can just Breach then. Could be wrong. I give them a token, but I get to figure out what's going on. That's probably not worth it. They can't win from here, right? Sorry, I'm a little. I don't know the Breach lines very well because it's just not a card I played a lot with. So definitely forgive me on that one. But we'll learn them as we go. I feel like that made the most sense. So if we go back and think about it, I had 4 mana, right? So it was another situation where Tinker would get countered. The Fluster on Tinker would get countered by tapping land and using Mental Misstep. And then they wouldn't have been able to play a Hull Breacher because they would have used their Fluster. So does that make it correct for my opponent not to Fluster? Yes. I mean, they would have gotten my land drop, and then I would have hit a top, and I would have easily won. So I actually think opponent probably played it correctly. It was just a really weird situation because of the known mental misstep off of the Reckless Impulse. I mean, yeah, it was exactly what happened in game around 2, where I had Tinker with a mental misstep that could have beat a Fluster. Kind of interesting in that regard. So I guess my opponent is on probably a similar list to what they last won with, which is 4 Hull Breacher, 2 Urza, and then a 2 Needle Saga deck. Interesting deck here. Interesting deck. We're gonna bring in just a bunch of blasts. I'm gonna leave in 1 bolt. I'm gonna take out an island. I'm gonna bring in Dress Down. I'm gonna take out a Hercules Recall. I'm gonna take out Slow Tutors. And then I'm going to keep it like this. This is how we boarded last time for P9, and I think it's a similar style deck. The P9 could have better Fluster targets if you're playing PO or not. Fluster's a little awkward in this deck, against this deck. My opponent's on 4 Flusterstorm. That is a lot of Flusterstorm. Yeah. I mean, both things got my Tinker through, right? I don't think it mattered if it was a generic draw or an exile, right? I mean, it was a possibility that my Citadel would have fizzled if I had to spend all my mana to pay for a Flusterstorm, right? Because I would have had to crack my fetch and I wouldn't have gotten a Sensei's Top. So it's definitely possible that I could have had trouble if I had a generic draw 2 instead of a exile there. It was just a weird game because of it. Like I said, I don't really think I like Needle very much against... I mean, it's possible I want to be playing less POs against 4 Fluster, but I think this is the setup I'm looking for. I'm surprised Kenza's not playing their pile. This is... I think this is a keep. Oh, no. I have a lot of 7-card hands with no blue mana, huh? I'm on the draw with a probe. I'm going to keep this hand and hope it works out. I think this is a keep. Mox. Time Vault. I have to force this, right? Because of Saga. I don't have a fast enough clock to not force this. This is the thing that I think Saga's really good at. Like, this is like, I know everyone's all about like tokens and stuff, but like the whole like vault key thing is the part that impressed me the most about Saga. It's really frustrating to play against. They could just not have a Saga here, and I just wasted a force on a stupid time vault. But it's more likely they have a force and a Saga, right? So I made the right call. Felt bad, but I had to do what I had to do. That's not a bad draw if I can draw into another non-opal Moxen. Oh god, opponent has Tinker, Hull Breacher, Ancestral. Man, if they don't draw a blue source until this thing cracks. Come on, please. I need help. I'm hurt. I need, please. Help. Thank you. All right, just fucking jam that shit right in there. Oh my lord, that is not what we were looking for. Why? Why can't I just draw the correct set of Moxen? Yeah. What? Maybe they won't cast all of their they're just gonna get a Lotus and murder me. I just needed help. I didn't get any help, man. I don't think this is a bad card. I just specifically needed Moxen. I just never draw enough Moxen when I play PO. Everyone else draws about 1,000,000 Moxen, and I draw 0 every time. I'm just gonna Tinker here, and I'm gonna lose. I don't even know. Yeah, I wasn't even beating Tinker with Fluster, so it doesn't really matter. I kind of had to draw a Force off of this Ancestral, and I just didn't. So it's not like these cards are taking up slots that would have been Force of Wills, right? My Ancestral sucked, and that's just how it is. The Bolt is something that... Yeah, all right. You got me, opponent. I had a really good hand. We had a pretty good hand, too, but I was, like, forced to force the stupid Time Vault. Like, if I didn't have to force the Time Vault, I could force the Tinker here. I guess I still just lose to the Ancestral, so it doesn't really matter. Just vintage things. Like, my opponent's hand just had a little bit too much power in it compared to... I mean, I had a lot of power in my hand, too. I just needed to draw the mana for it. Yeah, I mean... Mind Break Trap. That's good to know. They found a top. All right, I'm good here. I'm good here. Yeah, I mean, we played the hand and the hand lost. I didn't want to there's my Force, 1 card down. Yeah, I mean, I think I like what we have. It's just not great. I mean, we knew our opponent had no counter magic, so there's like a lot of draws in our deck that Ancestral could have hit that would have won us the game, right? We could have drawn into Mana Crypt Tinker, Mana Crypt Pio. Like, the Ancestral had outs to win us the game on the spot. It just didn't. Yeah. I mean, I did hit the Mana Source to cast the Ancestral, so I can't be too unhappy. But like we had the setup where we could have drawn outs to win that game. Sometimes you draw your draw 2s, and sometimes you draw your power. Sometimes you need to why is there a picture on my timeline of Montolio with an Asmo in play out of Hollowvine? Why is there a Walking Ballista in play? What is happening in this vintage challenge? What is going on? What am I looking at, chat? This is a Hollowvine with 2 snow-covered basics in play, an Underworld cookbook. No, I lost a bunch of games. I'm back to D2 or to Plat 2, so I'm not probably pushing. I have some things to do tomorrow too, so I just don't have time to play. So we're not going to push for Diamond in League. I should have started earlier, but it's okay. I play as much League as I don't until I don't enjoy it, and at the moment, I don't feel like I need to push super hard. Okay, on the play, game 3. What do we got? Boy, oh boy, that's a hand of Magic the Gathering cards. So yeah, this will be fun. I can't get Mind Break trapped here. I don't know if I'm supposed to play around that, but I mean, I don't play around Mind Break Trap on this stream, so whatever. Okay, Opal Force. I don't... That's not the worst. We're going to keep chaining. Keep playing some more Impulse. Can still hit a land drop, you know? That'd be cool. Land drop Pio. Interesting. Question, do we cycle Dress Down? No, it's a 4 card to pitch to Force. This is actually pretty good if we hit a land next turn. So I am showing my opponent that I have a PO and a Force, but I'm holding up Fluster. I have a Force off of my Dress Down, and if I hit a land, I PO for 3. So it looked okay. Soul Guide Lantern. I'm gonna tell you that resolves. You got it. All right, Reckless was fine there. So no Fluster. Is there any point to fetching? No, I can still draw Brainstorm. All right, I do need to hit a mana source here. It is technically a mana source, so I don't get to do Fluster, but I do get to still PO for 3, and I have a Force backup, so, I mean, this works out pretty well for Justin. I think I'll pitch the Fluster and keep the Dress down, so I have an answer to Saga tokens. It's a good sign. Ooh, let's go! All right, let's just do the thing. Why would we play around Mindbreak Trap? I have a Force. Don't really see any reason to. I have 2 action spells. I could even just play Underworld Breach and PO again. Just gonna cast Ancestral. I also have a Fluster. All right, that drew me terrible cards. That was really bad. Actually, so I'm short, right? I don't actually have the ability now to breach. Maybe I was just supposed to breach PO. I was probably supposed to just breach PO, pick up my Underworld Breach. Why didn't I do that? That was pretty bad, because I would have just PO'd for 5, right? That's fine. I'm holding up Force, Fluster. I can breach next turn. I don't think it's the end of the world. Yeah, it's just fine. I should not have Ancestral there. I should just have Breach PO'd, I think. I don't know why. Like I said, my lines with Breach have been pretty subpar just because I'm not really used to it. But we're learning. That's definitely an instance where we should have breached, I think. All right, they're just done. Okay, cool. I feel like we should be 3-0 if I was just a better player, so not bad. I really like this deck. I think this deck is super sweet. It really is just 2019 PO, but I don't know. Impulse looks sweet there. I was pretty happy. Yeah, if Breach was a Snapcaster Mage, it would have been just second nature to me to just go snap PO there. I think it's just a lack of reps, because it was very clearly a breach. It was just use your breach as a Snapcaster Mage. I just missed it. Yo, thanks 90s MTG, and have a good pre-release box boy, and thanks everybody for hanging out. Okay, here we go. Boom. Round 4 Vintage Challenge. We're up against Oath Goddess Miharu. Let's see what we can do here. It's a tough matchup to play PO into Miharu because she loves Pyroblast. 4 Pyroblast gamer at all times. So it can be pretty challenging, but the games can be really rewarding when you like figure out nice sequencing. This hand looks fine. I don't exactly know what I'm gunning for. It can be difficult to resolve an Ancestral against Miharu, but we do have a misstep to cover a Pyroblast, so as long as we play around Fluster, pretty okay with it. So I'm just gonna go lead with Demonic for Ancestral. There are other options like Demonic for Tinker, and in the blind, maybe you can justify Demonic for Tinker, but if I had a Force of Will, I might Demonic for Tinker. But against, I know it's going to be like a 4 Pyroblast, Counterspell, Control, Oath deck. I think it just makes sense to grab an Ancestral here. This game can go pretty long. Or they could draw, you know, Moxen, Forbidden Orchard, and play an Oath on turn 1, which would be bad for me. Yeah, just Island. All right, so we're going to play around Flusterstorm, and we're going to play around Negation by playing an Ancestral in their upkeep. And I'm not going to play my top because I want to be able to pay for a Flusterstorm. All right, sweet. So I'm going to cast Ancestral in their upkeep. So now they can't negate this. And if they were to fluster, I can pay. Now, if they have Force, obviously I have no counterplay. But I mean, I think we played around the things we could play around in a meaningful way. And now we're just going to have to hope that our top finds us the action we need to continue from here. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. See, there's like something to be said about misstepping this. But Pyroblast is so important in the matchup, I really would rather not. I don't really think my opponent is light on lands. I'm going to let this go. I think it's just... I want my mental misstep to counter Pyroblast or Ancestral. And they went bottom, so they might be light on lands. Okay, so here's a point in the game where we can learn a lot of things about our opponent's hand. Our opponent had the ability, theoretically, unless they drew Preordain, they probably had the ability to play Preordain on turn 1, and they chose not to, even though they knew that they were land light. So I think the read is they definitely have a Flusterstorm. That's my read anyways. They went bottom on this Preordain and did not find a land. So it means I would have gotten a lot of value out of mental misstepping this Preordain, but I think it's a hard call to make. I think some people would misstep the Preordain. I don't even think it's like terrible. I just know like how good Pyroblast is going to be. So that's a great draw. It's a great draw because it's going to progress us towards this paradoxical outcome. I could even fire off PO right now, but I don't think I want to play into negation. I should look at Miharu's last list and see what kind of numbers she's running. Miharu's last Oath list is 4 Pyroblast, 2 Flusterstorm, 2 Mindbreak Trap, 4 Force of Will, 0 negation. Okay, I'm gonna negate. I'm gonna go for a PO then. I lose out on 2 cards by not playing top first, but I don't have to play around Fluster, which I think she has. So I'm down. A question will be, do I play my top into a Mindbreak Trap? And I think the answer is no. Yeah. No, I don't think I'm allowed to. Like, if I've seen my opponent has 2 Mindbreak Traps in their last list, I have no further action. I can't. Even though it would be really good here, I don't think I'm allowed to. So I'm thinking Fluster, Time Walk, sure. No land drop, Time Walk. What else you got for me? If they preordain again, I probably will misstep it. Okay, they didn't preordain again. So yeah, I want to leave this fetch for my top. I have a mystical now. They have their own misstep. Okay, I'm definitely going to misstep this misstep. Definitely 100%. Yeah, I think I'm going to. Yep, she plays a blessing. So I don't really want to brain freeze combo her, but it's pretty easy to beat 1 blessing as long as you just mill your deck out. You can brain freeze and then counter your own brain freeze and then brain freeze again and then ancestral. It's not that hard to beat Gaia's blessing. So I actually have a lot of options. Again, I don't think I want to play into a Flusterstorm or a Mindbreak Trap, but I do still have like the ability to look 6 cards deep if I don't want a mystical. I think I just want a mystical into a Tinker, though, because a Tinker can't be flustered at that point. They could have another Force by this point in the game. They've definitely not drawn lands, so it's kind of hard to tell. They've hit an Orchard, which is probably their best draw. The hits gives them Pyroblast mana. And okay, so now I'm really off of the idea of Tinker. I think what I'm gonna do is like maybe for an end step PO. Yeah. I'm gonna mystical for a PO and look at it for an end step PO. That like, doesn't play around Fluster though, which is really awkward. The best way to play around Fluster here is like Yogwill, right? Nah, even that's not great against Fluster. I don't want to spin first because I don't want my opponent to Fluster Storm my Mystical. I don't have an Ancestral left in my deck. It's in my graveyard. I'm going to get a PO. I'm not going to cast it. I'm going to just wait till I can go on their end step and try to go for 2 spell. Yeah, I mean, this is not great either. Honestly, I might fetch away these other 2 cards. So I think the play here is I'm gonna fetch away these other 2 cards. I don't want another slow tutor. Maybe I wasn't even supposed to cast a slow tutor, and I was just supposed to spin with 6 looks. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just PO. The problem with POing here is it still walks right into the Fluster that we've been trying to play around. Yeah, I don't like the way I play this. I feel like they have so much counter magic. I'm gonna PO and not not activate my top, get the Fluster out, then try to find a spell. I hate the way I played this. I should not have Mystical Tutored. I should have spun. I should not have Mystical Tutored. It was bad. I want to get the counter spells out of her hand, but I know she has a Fluster. So why am I playing this end step PO into a Fluster and then into an open Pyro? It's really annoying that way I played this. I mean, this is a good draw though. Just want to cast this and clear my top, and these cards are just like really bad right now. Oh man. So I think I'm gonna cycle this Hercules Recall and see what she does. I would rather just get deeper. I guess maybe we should have just used their top. Yeah, maybe. I was planning on using top to make my Hercules Recall an actual Magic the Gathering card, to be honest. I don't know. Maybe that's tunnel vision. Yeah, maybe I was supposed to top and then cast it. I don't know. It's like super risky to put a top on top, right? Like, they're gonna Pyroblast this. Yeah, that's fine. I feel like I just like won out really big though. Like, I feel like we won out super heavily here. Yeah, the way this sequence is going for us is great because we're gonna untap with blue card force Underworld Breach combo. So I mean, it worked out. I kind of agree that we probably. Oh, I sequenced that terribly. Why did I do that? I want to put the Time Walk. Because I have to play my top. Like, I don't think... No, there's no card I'm going to force on their turn, so it doesn't matter. This is fine. Yeah, I guess I should have activated my top and then cast Impulse to save my force, but I don't know. I don't think it matters very much. I'm definitely... Those kind of weird sequencing things, gotta work them out. Feel really good right now about winning this game, though. Just gonna draw top, play Underworld Breach. Sorry, I'm gonna do that in a different order. I'm going... Oh, fuck, I can't do that in a different order. I really can't play around Mindbreak Trap here. Yeah, I mean, this is fine. I don't really care about this. Oh, I do care about this because now I don't have a blue card for... I don't have a blue card to resolve my breach. So I guess I have to wait one more turn now. No, but now I don't have a force. Oh my god, how badly did this go for me? Yeah, no, I fucked this up pretty badly. The whole top thing is kind of made this quite awful for me. Wow. I'm I'm way more than 1 mana short. Yeah, this is terrible because I'm about to lose my force. Yeah, so it was pretty big punish. The missequencing on top. Are we supposed to just jam anyways? God, that was so bad for me. No, I don't have 2 brain freezes. Like, I can wait. I just lose by force. So it's not like I gain anything by waiting. Yeah, she just wants to keep me from POing for the longest amount of time. So by not activating, she stops me from POing for 2 turns. But maybe it means she has a force. No, I still have double Citadel activation. I think I was just supposed to go for it. I guess I can still pitch my brain freeze and just like have an Underworld Breach. Okay, that resolved, so should be winning. I guess she can have Mindbreak Trap. I can't draw another blue card for my force. This was so bad. Narset specifically made force being in my thing so bad for me. I guess I can lead with Demonic for a blue card. And then yeah, I guess we can lead with Demonic for a blue card. Then Brain Freeze. But then I can't Demonic for Lotus. Well, I can, but I can't. There's like some downside to that. Let me see. I'm really bad at Breach, but I think this will end up working out. So if I DT for a blue card, and then I DT for a Lotus, then I can beat 1 Mindbreak Trap. I don't think it matters which one I get. I guess the one we care the least about is Probe, Brainstorm. Okay, this beats one counter spell. So as long as they don't have double Mind Break Trap or Force Mind Break Trap, we'll be fine. I did get like incredibly punished for our missequencing, which is cool. I'm okay with that. Easy way to make sure you learn. Looks like this is gonna work out for me. So yeah, So to beat Gaia's Blessing, I just need to counter my own Brain Freeze again, and then Ancestral. Which I have the mana to do. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that can go wrong here. Maybe user error. I don't think it matters that I'm at 0 cards or anything. Let me just get a bunch of different colors of mana floating. Yeah, I don't know. I probably have enough to bolt out, but I feel like this is even easier, isn't it? Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. Unless she suddenly put an Emrakul in her deck, I guess. All right, so now I Pyroblast, my Brain Freeze. And I Brain Freeze her. Maybe I made this harder for myself than it needed to be. Get to see her whole deck, though. That's nice. See how many Mind Break Traps she plays. I can't draw any cards, so I actually can't die from something like that. Okay. Oh, she has a force at the end of all of this. She had a force that whole time. Kind of wild, right? Not that actually stops her, but okay. I don't think I played that game very well. We learned some critical things about how to sequence my top with a not expressive iteration. It's like an expressive iteration with a Reckless Impulse. So I definitely got punished pretty hard for the way I missequenced, but we still pulled it through. Obviously, she stumbled on mana for a very long time. So let's see what's in her deck. Some new cards. We're seeing Archon is the Oath target. We're seeing Dress Down in the main. I like that. 1 Mind Break Trap. 1, 2, 3 Okos, 2 Archons, a Sylvan Library, 2 Dress Downs in the main, 2 Mindbreak Traps in the main, 1, 2, 3, 4 Pyroblast, 1, 2 Fluster. So 2 Fluster, 4 Pyro, 2 Dress Down, 2 Mindbreak Trap, 2 Archon. This is why it's really hard to play PO into Miharu, because she likes counterspells. Well, it's okay. We don't have to worry about Dress Down. Our deck has no creatures in it. Though we may board in a Sphinx. I don't think so, though. I don't think she'll stop playing Dress Down or anything. I think we just want Pyroblasts. And maybe that's it. We don't want Hercules. We probably don't need an island. It might just be as simple as that. Yo! Frodo, thanks for the gifted. Hope everybody enjoys their new subs. Use those emotes. I like seeing the emotes that Kim made. They're sweet. So I guess the question is, do we want to bring in Sphinx? With Dress Down, it means she does have an answer for it. So it might not be really useful. She might bring in Trap or Soul Guides to stop Underworld. I think we actually have to. Because if I know Miharu, she's going to bring in a bunch of Soul Guide Lanterns to stop, like, both of my combos involve the graveyard, actually. Well, I guess Total Brain Freeze doesn't exactly, but I think we might need a Sphinx, which is a little sus. Impulse has been pretty good. I've been pretty bad, but Impulse has been all right. So maybe I'll just take out Mystical then. I'm going to bring in Sphinx because I'm a little afraid Miharu's going to, like, board a ton of graveyard hate in, and then we'll have a hard time winning. And normally if people bring in a bunch of graveyard hate, it doesn't matter too much because you can just Brain Freeze combo them. Like, just PO, draw your deck, Brain Freeze them. But with Miharu, she has Gaia's Blessing, so we don't actually get to do that. So it might be important for us to have a Sphinx in our deck, which is really weird. Needle for Lantern, I mean, maybe, but I'm really not a huge fan of that. She could also bring in Trap, possibly. I think I would rather just err on a side of caution and just bring a Sphinx in. It's hard for her to answer a Sphinx, so I'm just going to mulligan. This hand doesn't get to play Magic. This hand's obviously insane. Just need to find a force to play a Tinker. I mean, yes. I mean, ooh, what am I going to... I'm just going to get rid of this. Okay. So, yeah, my hand is great. It's just super awesome. I don't know how else to say it. We gotta keep in mind we have to play around, you know, Nature's Claims, maybe Ancient Grudges, maybe 4 Pyroblasts, 2 Mindbreak Trap, 2 Fluster. Are they gonna play a turn 1 Oath on me? No, they're not gonna play. Only 4 cards in my opponent's hand. I'm looking at... That's unfortunate. I got rid of the red source. I'm looking like I want to go Mana Crypt, top, Emerald, Academy go. Mana Crypt, top. So my 2 cards don't get Mindbreak Trap that I want. And then I now have enough mana to end step PO and then untap Tinker. This hand's very, very good. It's on the top. This is in the top percentage of PO draws. If I draw a red source, my Tinker is even better. So very, very happy with this hand. See what she does. Yeah, I probably should have spun. I just didn't. I was just too busy talking about the hand. I'm not going to activate my top. I'm just going to cast this. I will run it into whatever counter spells you have. I think that's okay. I might end up spinning on upkeep now because I fucked up, which shouldn't cost me, but we'll see what happens. Ancestral in response. Okay. Fair. Nothing I can do. Resolves. Yeah, I should have spun top. I was just too busy talking about the sequence. This just resolves? Huh. I don't know what that means. Just Mindbreak Traps, maybe? What does that mean? I don't think I'm supposed to play anything on my turn. I'm gonna just play everything out again. And I'm gonna PO and end step again. Do I want to impulse? We don't think she has a negation in her deck, but I don't think I'm in any need to rush this. I think I can just do another end step PO with Pyroblast backup. I mean, I can have another PO. Like, yeah, this looks fine. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can actually beat a Fluster if she plays nothing. This might even be an activate top angle on this PO because of how much mana I have. It might have even been an activate top. I don't think it was an activate top angle last turn, but okay, she does have a spell, which means I am dead. I mean, now my PO can be flustered, but I don't really care if my PO gets countered at all. I have a Tinker with Pyro Black up next turn without running into Mindbreak Trap. I could have upkeep. I don't think it's correct to upkeep, though. I don't think I really... do I really want to upkeep that? I don't really think so. This also holds up like the Hardcast Force and things. I don't think I'm going to activate my tops. I think I'm just going to PO for 4, and then I can spin a top if I want. Like, I think this will be a Pyroblast, right? Yeah. So I have Force blue card next turn as well. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to look to do Tinker win here. Lost a flip. Blue this. Yeah, I'll just get rid of this crypt. I guess you could have Ancient Grudge. That is actually something I should have considered. Maybe I should have drawn this blue card first. Well, now I don't care. I did not play this set of games particularly well. I mean, I think I like the main game plan I chose, I think was good. Like the main way I sequenced between like end step POs, I think that was good. But the rest of this game, I'm not really super happy with like the minutia. Vigor? Are you playing Vigor now? I guess I should maybe have played. She's playing Vigor now. Wow. Imagine I get Vigor trapped here. Oh, wow. Imagine I get Vigor trapped here. Wow. I didn't think she was playing Vigor. I've never seen her play Vigor. I can hard cast a Force on this. I'm just so worried about getting Vigor trapped. I can spin into a blue card. So what's the likelihood I spin into a blue card? Two cards deep, looking at pretty large number of blue cards. I guess the question is, how likely am I to find a blue card? And if I do, or how likely should I have trap? Wow. Wow. I think I got punished for playing this pretty badly. Again, I didn't really expect Force of Vigor. All right, am I getting trapped? I guess is the question, right? I am getting trapped. Okay, well, I got punished really hard for the way I played this game. I might lose this game. I might lose this game, which I really didn't consider a possibility, to be honest. I don't think I would ever play around Force of Vigor out of Miharu. I've just never seen it, but could I have afforded to? Yeah, I could have drawn my repeal. I should have just drawn my repeal. Why didn't I just draw my repeal before I tinkered? I should have drawn my repeal before I tinkered. I could have played around this. I don't know why I didn't. I've just been a very bad day sometimes. Some of these plays are really egregious. Technically I can breach into... I can almost breach into a Sphinx soon here. I think I'm just gonna recklessly impulse though. I guess we'll find out if I had any blue cards. Yeah. I mean, Miharu played great, I guess. I don't know. So I did have a blue card. Wow, these are not good draws. Oh no, these are so bad. This is problematic. Okay, I mean, these cards are really good. I don't know how I want to sequence this, but... it's just fine. Yeah, I've played this game badly. I kind of deserve to lose. I don't have very much time, so I need to win this game. Boy. Yeah, this was a rough impulse, too. I don't know here. So, is this an oath? Okay, so they have one card. We're going to see what it is. They have an oath. Time to win. Do we win with spirits yet? No. All right, what is your one card? Another trap. Yeah, it's another fucking trap. Wow. Okay, so I beat that by just casting Yogg now, right? Well, no, I should just draw into Time Walk first. Or do I just cast Yogg? So this is only going to be Emerald Pearl. Okay, so I should make mana, draw into Time Walk. Yeah, so I make mana. No, I won't have enough mana to Time Walk. God damn it. Should I just PO? No. Seems really bad. I don't know. I don't know what the best play is here. Maybe I can just... No, I'm one short? Oh my god, I'm one short. Wait, no, I can just, Oh, maybe I can do two Time Walks. Maybe I can do 2 Time Walks. No, I won't have enough mana, right? Oh, I kind of have to win here. So if I guess they can hard cast Trap right now on this Time Walk. I think I'm gonna fetch away my top and try to find a Moxen, and then I can probably go I guess I should just spin if I've already resolved a time walk. This looks bad. Why are these spells so bad? I'm just super short on mana. What am I doing? Oh, I threw this game. I threw this game horribly. They're just gonna hard cast. Ooh, man, I played this game very badly. I can't, shit. I can't blast this. What was I doing? No, I know my cards, right? So I don't even want to do that. What do I do? I don't think I have an out now. I needed to draw that. Oh, the top was bad, though. I know this is misstep. Ooh, how do I figure that? I'm going to lose on time. Unfortunate. All right. I played this game atrociously. I can cast a couple probes here. I can't play lands, right? Fuck. Not being able to play lands is real rough. Yeah, I can't PO pick up my tokens now. I know my cards, though. I know I'm drawing dead to my top two cards here. What am I going to do? If this resolves, what do I do? If this doesn't resolve, what do I do? If she passed Mindbreak Trap, I Pyroblast, and then I can probe how many times? A couple times? Not enough times, probably. Tinker Sphinx, maybe. I can't make another blue mana, though. The problem is I can't make another blue mana. The whole problem is I can't make another blue mana. I don't think I can hold open just this because I have to be able to Pyroblast this. No, I have to. I have to tap Academy or I can't get this to resolve. That's not how this works. I can hit Lotus. How much do I want to leave? No, doing that again is so bad. Okay. Yeah, I played this game so badly. We're gonna lose to Archon. I mean, I spun for 6 looks and found no artifacts, right? It was pretty bad. I did get a little unlucky, but I played, like I said, I played very, very poorly, so. I don't even have enough things to kill her with a bolt. I'm just dead in the air, right? Because I used too much of my life total. Holy shit, I'm 1 mana off of PO here. Yeah, I mean, I played so badly. I'm only on game 2. Like, I just needed to play faster as well, right? I lost this in game 2 on clock, so. Oh boy. Yeah, I deserve to lose this game for sure. All right, I mean, it was a learning experience. We need to go back and figure out what the hell I was supposed to do in that game. Not now, though. Yeah, I mean, I didn't... I mean, I would have won the game if I had spun and not hard cast force. But it feels like so risky, right? Oh, I guess she might have even had double Mindbreak Trap, too. So... Well, the real problem wasn't double Mindbreak Trap. The real problem was she had Force of Vigor, which I just did not put on my map at all. I'm not very happy with this game for lots of reasons, obviously. Okay, here we go. Round 5. We're up against Adam Murchik. Let's see what we can do. Try to play a little bit tighter than last time. It's tough playing against Maharu. You don't normally play against someone without so much Mindbreak Traps. Sand's pretty sus, but we'll keep it. Really would rather not crack this. Play faster? I mean, yes, that's always true. But I also, like, we've had points in this tournament where I played too fast and didn't play the right stuff. So, like, there's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I mean, my first game of that, I had to kill my opponent with a Brain Freeze through a Gaia's Blessing. Like, it takes time. That's not that's not something that takes no time. I mean, I can't really do much about a Pyro or a Fluster. I can beat a Pyro, but I guess I can't really beat a Fluster. See what we have on top. Academy is sicko, but yeah, this is fine. Let's just draw Impulse and yeah, I mean, that looks pretty good. I don't think... Really? I don't think that Bolt was a shorter line. I actually think Bolt was a longer line. I don't know why you think that Bolt is a shorter line there. I have to cast 8 bolts. That takes just as much time. Yeah, I mean, I ordered my lands wrong too. This is true. I didn't think it really mattered. I didn't really think I was going to get my Reckless Impulse Flusterstormed, so my mistake, really. Can just spin it here and just go for a PO. Doesn't matter then. I mean, I can get double flustered now, I guess, but oh, I was not supposed to cancel. Can I cancel? Can I undo? Can I undo? I can't undo. All right, well, I mean, I played this. I'm just obviously tilted and playing like a fucking monkey. I mean, I can't tap this because I need to draw into my repeal. I guess I can pay for a fluster here, but the problem is I can't draw my blue card for force. I'm so bad. I'm playing just so poorly. It's okay. Just gonna need to calm down a little bit. Obviously, it would only have been a PO for 2, so it's not like the end of the world, but I really hate when I play badly, though. It's very hard for me. It's one of the things that I'm not very good at as a player, is coming back from my own mistakes. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm just holding everything up. I think I'm gonna probably repeal token here. Maybe I'm supposed to spin first. Just never play bad. Second place trophy player says never play bad. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I almost never recover too well from misplays. Do I want to do this now while they don't have anything up? I'm drawing into a land, right, that I don't really want to draw into. But I also don't really want to not have Force of Will up. In case they go like Lotus Tinker. So I don't really want to not have Force of Will up. Are they actually going Lotus Tinker? They know I have a Force, right? They probe me. I mean, if they tinker me through another Force, like, what am I doing here? Ancestral. They have Ancestral Tinker? Really? Oh, they're on Breach. What the fuck, man? I have to spin for a Force? And I know one of my cards isn't a Force? What a hand. Holy shit. Okay, yeah, you got me. You got me. I mean, it's theoretically, I could have resolved a PO, but... Oh, man. They found something? Oh, what the... Wait, why did they did this so they could play Lotus again? Would it have made any difference if I had done anything here? I don't think I remember. Do I want to blind repeal? Or do I want to spin? I guess I could spin off of this. Try to find a Tinker. I guess I could blue off of this. And try to find... Spin. Oh, that's pretty good for me. There's a lot of bloat in these decks. I guess this could still be winnable here. I just need to find an action spell. They are going to be able to crack a fetch 7, 8. So they can cast a dig next turn. It's really unfortunate that they can do that. Well, maybe they'll just play a Saga, and then they can still play a dig. I'm pretty sure I want to keep this top. They'll have to hit Force. They'll have to hit exactly Force blue card. I'm going to be at 10 with a top. Seems doable. Okay, I'm just going to go for Demonic Tinker Citadel. Hope they don't find blue card Force off of their Lotus, and I can kill them from 10 with a top. Seems reasonable. Is it better to Yogwell? I can't actively keep up an Academy activation. I do get a repeal, a probe, a PO. No, probably better to Tinker. Probably second black source. All right, so they have to crack this and hit blue card Force off of their dig through time. Oh, they top decked Force of Will? I fucking hate this game, man. Oh no, okay, woo, I got real scared there. I guess they can hit Pyroblast. I miscounted here. Okay, I mean, if they can just hit Pyroblast, it's pretty bad for me. Probably are on 1 or 2 Pyroblasts. Okay, so we know that their hand has fetch land, unknown, and they have a dig. I mean, it's pretty likely they find a counterspell here. They didn't find a counterspell here. All right. So I have a top and 10 life to work with. I guess it's always better to top here. That's fine. Kills their construct. I should be holding priority. What am I doing? All right, let's play a little bit better here. Play a little slower. Looking for... I could spin, but then I can't draw and PO. Don't think we're ready to spin yet. Bolt. Okay, bolt you. Opal's a good one. Mystical. Okay. Oh, what if I die to a lightning bolt? What if I die to a lightning bolt? Oh, that'll be fun, won't it? All right, whatever. Mystical. Yogwell should be the best, right? Well, not exactly. Yeah, Yogwell, Demonic, Time Walk. Set up Reach Brain Freeze on the next turn. I guess I can just look for a Brain Freeze kill now, right? I'm almost there. So let's just do Yogwell. Draw Yogwell. Cast Yogwell? Okay. Lotus. Cast this. Cast this. 3. Blue. I guess I went down to 1 and now I can't use... Whatever. I don't care. We're there. I can't actually cast Force because I went to 1, which is pretty bad, probably. Demonic. Brain Freeze. Brain Freeze you. Okay, well, I didn't get punished. I mean, I got punished, and then I didn't get punished. Okay. Oh boy. Dig through time, in the wise words of Joe Brennan, sometimes just doesn't find you the cards you need. Okay, so we're up against like a LSV Menguchi style Grixis Tinker with Breach combo kill. In this situation, I like Pyroblasts, Dress Down. Yeah, I'm well. I definitely played into bolt range. Yes, I agree. I think there was a large quantity of minor missequencings there that could easily have killed me, but didn't. For what it's worth. My opponent does have a Lightning Bolt in their deck. Now, would they be likely to find Lightning Bolt off of Dig Through Time? Maybe, maybe not, depending on how they feel about the Citadel at 10 life. Could definitely have been possible, so. One Hull Breacher, one Opposition Agent, one Karn Scion. I feel like I have to keep a Lightning Bolt in my deck. Again, I think I like taking out Hercules for Dress Down. Seems like a slightly better card. I'm going to go with Slow Tutors out again. And I think I'm going to go with one Island out. And this is how I've been running these blue matchups. Just Slow Tutors out, Island out, Hercules out. Yes. Impulse is much, much, much better than Expressive Iteration in this deck because it's castable. Expressive Iteration is just not a castable magic card in Vintage, especially in this deck. The question isn't really, is Reckless Impulse better than Expressive Iteration? The question is Reckless Impulse better than Night's Whisper? All right, I mean, this is a sweet hand because my opponent can't Fluster or Pyroblast the Citadel. So we're just going to... All right, well, they know what's happening. There's been a lot of Gitaxian probes in this tournament. A large number of Gitaxian probes. My opponent has to find a Force of Will, or they probably die. For what it's worth. My opponent did not shuffle, so I would assume that means they found an answer. Again, like I am just gonna run straight into the horse, the maw, the sandworm, the something. Show me your answer. Has an answer. Not too big of a deal. Any Moxen lets me cast Pio on the next turn, so we have a backup plan, which is nice. It's a Brainstorm. No, it's a Dak Faden. Dak Faden's a big deal. Dak Faden stealing Emerald's really good here. They do know that we have a Lightning Bolt, though, so they might plus first. They know about Lightning Bolt from Cheap Probe. They are going to steal, huh? Does keep us away from Pio pretty far. I am just going to definitely smack that on the top of the face with a Lightning Bolt. Yeah. All right, well, Mana Crypt is our best draw. That is not our best draw, for anyone wondering at home. Saga's a good one from my opponent. It's going to shorten this game up. Dress Down. Saga's... Nice Saga. I mean, it's still going to find its Sensei's Top and be very good for my opponent, so it's not like I get a huge deal from this. Opal's not bad. A question will be, when is the best time to cast this Dress Down? And I think the answer will be in my end step after my opponent makes a thing and taps out from Force of Will. Obviously, now they won't spend mana on their turn, but I don't think that's a huge deal. I am still off on this PO, unfortunately. This is definitely going to find a top, which is really, really good for my opponent here, for sure. So the Saga still did okay things. It was a top on Suspend. But, yeah. It's unfortunate I can't, like, pick up this Dress Down, but I think it's more important to make sure it resolves than anything else. My opponent is holding up Hardcast Force. I mean, I think I'm willing to run this in just to get a Lotus. Literally just a flashback a Lotus. Yeah, I think I'm willing to just play 3 mana flashback my Lotus. Now, a question is, do I play PO on my turn for 2? No? Interesting. Wait, that's terrible. Why'd they do that? I only have 1 lightning bolt in my deck. Oh my fucking god, are you kidding me? Okay. Can I win this game with an opposition edge play? I was like, what is happening here? So they didn't have a force, and now I can't PO? Should I end step dress down? No, it's just terrible to dress down too. All right, well, yeah. I don't know. No, I mean, I could have PO'd there, but I didn't really like it. Didn't really feel good. I don't know. I don't think I like hated the way I played that. I think it just, oh my god, how much more can I get blown out? I think Biforce is not a good card to bring in against PO, but that totally worked out for them. All right, well, that was like just absurdly bad for me. Sure. I can't DT though, because this is in play. All right, well, this was really sad. This was just the worst possible outcome that could have ever happened. Oh boy. Classic PO things. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just don't get there. Okay, hold on. Wait a second. What's the percentage chance this dress down resolves, though? That's the real question. How we feeling about the chances of this dress down resolving? Any dress downers? Resolves this. Oh, is it a win? Is it a win? No. There's no chance. Oh, I don't have a Lotus to tutor. Oh, I don't need a Lotus to tutor. Oh my god, is it a win? No way. No way. No shot. No shot. No shot. 0%er. Not a chance. You had 2 answers? You fucking master. Oh, what a guy. All right. It was close. This is another reason I do like the Breach combo, is it just has some real solid oopsie wins. I think 1 bolt is still, and 2 dress down is still fine for 1 opposition agent. I'm not going to change that. It was close. No, it was super close. It was pretty close. I mean, my opponent had a force for my turn 1 Citadel. It happens. Jeez, these hands have happened a lot today, huh? All right, mulligan. Oh, no. Oh, no. Not like this. Did I play around Mindbreak Trap? Guess so. I should have played Sapphire, not Emerald, if I really wanted to play around Mindbreak Trap. I asked, did I want to play around Mindbreak Trap, and then I only half played around Mindbreak Trap. All right, Tinker, baby. Tinker. Fuck, man. I need Tinker, PO, Reckless Impulse, Tobonic Tutor, Ancestral Recall. One of those ones would have been good. Definitely would have been good. Jeez. Any impulses? Repeal. That's not a bad draw. Okay. Sure, why not? Always wins the flips too. What a powerful wizard. No hard cast for. I was gonna say no hard cast force, but it seems they found exactly blue Mox. But hard cast force we have kind of covered, so maybe it'll be okay. Blue? They just have Tinker? I mean, what the fuck? Ah! I have to find a blue card now. Yeah. This is the story of my life. I have 12 lands in my deck. What? Come on! I feel like I deserve a little bit better than that, right? Like, come on. Come on. Now I can't even top deck something after. And it's all gone downhill after I stopped playing well. They found Pyroblast off of their on-color Ruby, too. I mean, you can't make this up. It just is the worst possible way it could have gone. Jesus Christ. All right. Yeah, I mean, whew, that was pretty brutal. I don't know if a better player would have won that one, but my opponent's hand seemed quite a bit better than mine. Let's go back and look at Miharu match, because I feel like there's plenty for us to learn in the Miharu match. And I want to learn because I played so badly today. Yeah, I mean, getting unlucky happens. You got to win the matches where you're not unlucky, which I would say this Miharu match was probably one of them. Let's get to this Miharu match. I don't care much about game one. Besides, like, I probably should have activated my top on one turn. So I went into this game with how much time on the clock? Like 10 minutes? That's pretty bad. I did have to play this game with 9 minutes, so... All right, chat, let's watch this game. Let's watch this game real quick. Yes, obviously that's a mulligan. Let's watch this 2 times for now. 1.5 is probably fine. This is obviously a keep. And we just played the whole game around Fluster and Mindbreak Trap, which my opponent did have. So I liked a lot of how we played this game. Okay, so yeah, Mana Crypt, Emerald, Academy, Go, probably. I don't think we played... Did we play top? We might have played... So maybe... No, we played top second. Yeah, because we don't care if they Mindbreak Emerald. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, yeah, Emerald. And we should have spun here. We didn't spin here because I was talking with chat about the line. Obviously, that's pretty bad. Would definitely have loved to spin there and find out what I'm drawing into. Those are small things. That's mostly just because I was streaming and talking and not focusing on the gameplay. Here, I definitely like no activation. It's very likely my opponent will counter this spell. They didn't counter the spell because, like, little did we know our opponent's hand was like trap. So like, there's definitely something to be said. Oh, they had ancestral. Never mind. There's definitely something to be said about jamming like Tinker on this next turn, and we chose not to. Yeah. Like, I can totally jam Tinker. I can go. No, I can't really jam Tinker to play around Mindbreak Trap meaningfully. No, I like not playing anything here. This looks fine. I like playing out all of my things and end stepping a PO. I think that's the line I would take again. That's the line I would take again. I could technically cast Impulse here. I don't think I want to do that, because I would Pyroblast like a force on my PO. Maybe. I think up until this point, I'm still okay with what happened. I guess in the end, if I had played the way I wanted to play, I think what happens is I just get Force of Vigor double trapped and lose, right? Or not lose, but I don't get my Citadel. I really wonder, am I supposed to go Citadel? Here I might even be supposed to be able to activate these tops. It's definitely possible I could have activated some tops here. Wouldn't have ended up very good. I mean, I have Force Repeal. I felt so good after this that it didn't matter. I don't know why. I just didn't need it. I did need to draw into this Repeal. But I think it would have actually ended up not mattering, right? Kind of crazy enough. What if I had gone Sphinx? All right, the first thing I should have done is I should have tapped my mana, and I should have drawn with this top to draw the Repeal. I guess I was pretty confused at the Tinker resolving. Like, so the biggest thing is I didn't think I needed the Repeal because the Tinker was resolving. Because I thought once the thing... So I was like, I'm thinking about like Ancient Grudge and Nature's Claim as the ways to answer Citadel. I didn't play around Vigor at all. And I don't really think I'm supposed to play around Vigor. Like, at this point, I'm assuming that I can play my Citadel and it will never leave play. Yeah, I'm going to just be able to, like, even if they have Mindbreak Trap, I can just continue playing through it with, like, 2 tops and a Pyroblast. So, I guess it comes down to, like, obviously I should have had Repeal, but I don't think I would have ever played around Vigor out of Miharu, so... I don't think I would have ever gotten Sphinx here. Would I in a sec? I don't even think I would in another instance. So the real question is, like, was I supposed to spin here instead of hard casting Force? Probably. Probably. I was probably supposed to spin here because I do have the ability to, like, continue playing on with Reckless. So I probably was supposed to spin. I think it feels like I just knew there was a trap. Like, I just knew there was a trap. So I should just trust myself that there's a trap. And, like, obviously when I spin in and I get double trapped, then I get double trapped, whatever. But, you know, no one's ever playing around double trap, but I feel like it's very reasonable to play around single trap here. I just, like, again, this Vigor just caught me completely by surprise. So yeah, I do think we would spin here and we would find a PO and we would draw into PO. We would force this Vigor. They would then trap the stack, and then I would Pyroblast the trap and I would get trapped again. But I think I would actually win after that because I would have much better chances of winning, right? Because I get to go Reckless Impulse. Maybe I don't even play Underworld Breach this turn. Maybe I can. Like, what if I go, like, if I spin and I find PO and I force this and they trap it, I Pyro, they trap it, then they're completely out, and I have Impulse into Breach. I can then go Tinker and put a Sphinx in play. I played this atrociously. This force is so bad. This is actually probably even worse. Like, obviously, topping for repeal I should definitely have done, but hard casting force here was just so wrong and so many levels wrong. Because even if I spin and miss, which I don't know the percentage of, maybe I could have calculated, that was pretty low on time. Hard casting force was really bad here. Because I know how good my top cards are going to, at least one of my top cards is going to be. I know I have the mana to Reckless Impulse here. Wow. I didn't realize just how bad this force play was. I made just about 4 or 5 mistakes on the way to losing this game. Okay, so let's now try to play on from this point and see if we can win. Oh boy. Wow, yeah, I didn't realize that this force was that bad. Like, I knew it was pretty bad because of trap, but I didn't realize it was like just not cast. Like, I could just cast Reckless Impulse. I'm gonna have tons of cards in my yard. Yeah, that was not good. That was not good. Okay, so can we win from here? Can we win from here? How does one win from here? Do we know our top card? No, we know Breach is our only card. The only card we know is Breach. So what does the win from here look like? 4 mana. I know I have Breach. I don't cast Breach here, right? Or do I? Because I'm looking to Tinker. No, I cast. So I didn't want to cast Breach, even though I knew I could go. I can't go Mana Crypt Tinker, right? I'm short, actually. So that's why we went Reckless, which is fine. I could technically have spun. Okay, so my 3 cards would have been Pio, Yogwill, Breach. So I would have. I don't know which one of these goes first. If I had played, I would have maybe hit Breach, Yogwill, which would have been pretty funny. Drawn into Pio. Interesting. Okay, so then I have Probe, Tarn, Walk. Probe, Tarn, Walk. Maybe I was supposed to organize those differently. Have Walk be my second. Then I lose on Will. They drew Oath, which I knew. This 13 was a really bad number for us too. All right, so am I doing anything wrong here? I'm always gonna probe, and here we learn about the second Mindbreak trap. I know I'm clocking here. I currently have 4 mana, and I know they have a trap. And I can't ever pass the turn. So I can't PO. If I Yogwill, I have to blast them, and I don't have a blue mana afterwards to do anything with. Man, my mana situation here is so brutal. If I had drawn Yogwill, I would lose Yogwill though. I think that I made a mistake in order here. Shouldn't I have ordered Probe into Walk? Into land? I lose my Yogwill this way. But I get to attack them down to 9. And then I have 5 mana on my next turn. In which case, I still have to... Okay, let's think about this. So I Time Walk, and they may or may not trap it. Probably they didn't trap it right before. So I Time Walk, and then on my next turn, I would have 5 mana. I have to use Red and Academy. No, I still have 4 mana. But I do have enough to Tinker. I have enough to time walk. I need to time walk multiple times. I don't think I can. This vigor hitting my emerald actually just was really brutal. Though I guess losing my second top if I had gone for the force pitching repeal line would have been pretty bad too. But I already said I would have ended up with a Sphinx in play, so that probably doesn't actually matter. So I drew into my time walk here. I don't think this line is bad because I get 6 or 3 looks at a Moxen, right? Because Moxen gets me there, right? I think this is a little unlucky because I think I played this correctly from here. Because I walk, if they trap, I get a token and I pyro. They didn't trap. So I can look for a Mox and I don't find a Mox. So then I shuffle and I can look for a Mox. And if I hit a Mox, then I have Breach with Brain. Yeah, I win this game if this hits a Mox. Or a land, right? I'm actually a little happier now because I think I played this a little bit better than I thought I did. Obviously, I made a lot of mistakes on my way, but once I got here, I actually think this works for me, right? So if this had spun and hit a Mox, I have if I hit a land, I would have had Breach, Blast, Emerald, Breach, Blast, Mana Crypt, double walk, maybe? Does that add up? Or am I short on double walk? But I have... One, two, three Mana Crypt. And then I have 1, 2, 3 walk. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. A land or a Mox. Not an opal. Would have won me the game with this line where I went time walk, look 6 cards for a land or a Mox. Okay, that makes me a little bit happier because I feel like I played this section better than I thought I did. Obviously, we pulled up a bunch of mistakes on the way to get to here, but in a time crunch with the cards I was given. So I still think I was supposed to put the time walk in a different order, right? Where's the time walk? Right. Where do I order the time walk? When did I order time walk? Here? No. When did I order time? Right here. So if I had ordered probe, walk, Tarn, then I can walk off of Emerald Academy, and then on the following turn, I only have 4. No, that works. Okay, so this was bad. This was the bad. I actually misordered here. I don't think I saw that far ahead, though, that I was going to win by time walking my opponent. So I don't really know if that's like super justifiable. Normally you want to like from 16 life in this board state, did I really think I was going to walk kill my opponent? Probably not. But if I had ordered this probe walk land, I actually would win the game, which is really interesting. Wow, what a crazy game. Really a great game of Magic. And a lot of things to learn from it, so. Yeah, I'm pretty happy now that we've gone over this. The Lord Beers. All right, 6th and final round, Vintage Challenge. Trying to get our money back here, trying to learn more things, play better. all those things. We're up against the Dredge Master, Lord Beerus, looking for a combo kill in game 1. This could be a combo kill. It's much better hand against like a Jeskai deck because we're just going to really grind, but I can't imagine. Man, maybe I am supposed to mulligan this against Dredge. It's a hard hand to be keeping against Dredge, but I think I'm just supposed to keep Force Ancestral. My opponent could not be on Dredge, I guess, theoretically. Beerus has played Jeskai in the past. This is a little rough. But if I hit like 3 Moxen off of my Ancestral, maybe it'll be okay. Technically, we could like vamp into a Tinker as well. So, all right, they are on Dredge. Looks like they have negations. No, it's fine. I think I'm just supposed to keep this hand in general, so I don't think it really serves a purpose to mulligan this hand. All right, no hollow one. That's a great draw. That is actually a great draw. I am going to just jam an Ancestral on my turn, I think. I think that I'm supposed to throw caution to the wind and just battle. I don't think letting this game go very long is a good idea. All right, I mean, we're doing it. As long as we don't get too destroyed on our next hand, I mean, this looks really good to me. My opponent didn't have interaction, which is always nice. Let's try to figure out what's gonna happen here. All right, so that was one Dredger, low number of Dredgers, probably at least an Icarid down to 16. This looks winnable. This looks winnable. They did hit a therapy. I think they discarded a therapy. We're pretty... Is it raining? Right now? I would need it to be dry tomorrow. Vamp for Academy is not a line I was considering. I think you're even better off vamping for a blue, like a Sapphire, over an Academy. I'm not sure, though. I haven't decided what I'm going to vamp for yet. My opponent is... What's happening? Oh, my God. All right, well, my opponent hit Icarid double chill, which makes... Holy, the rain is coming down really hard. Which makes Citadel hard. I'm at 10 life. I'll be at 8 life. So I think I need to do a PO kill here, which is tough. My opponent hit pretty well there. They have second Bazaar? I guess it makes sense because they don't have any interaction, but this could be really bad for me. Like another therapy is horrible for me. Any more chills are pretty bad. All right, they didn't hit any of those things. So the second Bazaar ended up not mattering. Okay, so if they therapy me, do I force it? I guess so. All they did was Dredge this turn, right? So I can force the therapy. I go to 9. I can vamp for... What am I vamping for, though? Like I have to force this because I can't let them take PO. So I think this is forced. I think I'm just gonna get rid of Narset because it costs 2 blue. The question is, what am I vamp for? Do I feel like a draw 4 PO that can replay itself is going to get the job done? I don't think Tinker makes sense in this scenario at 7 life. What if I get misstep? That would be pretty rough. All right, chat. Let's think about this for a quick second. I am at 9. My opponent has 2 chills. So technically, if I can figure out a breach kill does work. So I could go breach on top, breach off of this. No, I cannot get a breach kill here. Okay, so we can rule breach kill out. I could get a Lotus. I could get a Tinker. Tinker from 7 is like... I don't think that's good enough. It could be good enough. I could get a second PO, but then I'm at the mercy of drawing into a blue source. I'm trying to figure out if Sapphire is better than a second PO. I think it is. Oh. So you just watched me lose power in round 6 of that vintage challenge versus Dredge. Unfortunately, just a storm came through and took out all the power in my neighborhood. So this is 5 or 6 hours later. Yeah, I actually was really happy with this deck. I thought the deck itself and the way I configured the deck, the way I built the deck, I was really impressed, and I was pretty happy with the play patterns and what was happening here. Obviously, I think the level of play from me was just not up to par with what I needed it to be, but I think on a better day, this felt like a tournament that I could have top 8'd, just with like a better day, a better play, knowing the lines a little bit more, playing around a couple different things. I was pretty happy going back over the match with Maharu. There was just a lot of places where we could have made slight adjustments and we would have been in a great position to win that match. So a lot of things like that along the way. But overall, the deck itself seems really strong and something I want to pursue and try to improve on in the future. If you were just watching the end of that round 6, let me know what you think the Vampiric Tutor should have been for. I think there was a couple different options, and I want to see what chat thinks was the best Vampiric Tutor target against Dredge in that game 1, having to win the game on that turn. Hopefully you all can enjoy this video. Hopefully there was a lot to learn in this video, and I hope you stick around for the next one. I'll catch everybody later.